What's going on, y'all? You know what it is. It is Sunday night, so that means it is sipping on Sundays. Boy, it's North Jackson's finest in the house. Mr. Campbell, Zoe Phillips, man, we got a lot to talk about, man. We really appreciate you all being here, but I got to say one thing. Happy Palm Sunday to all the people out there celebrating Palm Sunday, man. Easter is next week. I know you got your nice Easter fits on and things like that, but, man, Zoe, we got a lot to talk about, man. We got, like I say, college basketball is going on, men's and women, man. We got people talking about Dion, we got people talking about Michelle Obama. We got people using Chat GPT for crazy things, man. We got a lot of things. Listen, but we got a lot to talk about, man. The only way we're gonna talk about is the way we do it, North Jackson style, North Side Drive, I-55, I-20, man. Sit back, man. Get you a little something to sip on. I'm just gonna tell you something. Shout out to my boy Said Brass, man. He gave me the Brass Monkey Award again. And you know what? So I tried to get by the liquor store, right? Because I was gonna have some Brass Monkey tonight. Since he keeps reminding me of Brass Monkey, even though he was too young to even remember it and stuff like that.
Have you tried it yet?
Bro, I grew up, listen. Beastie Boys, 1986. I was drinking Brass Monkey in 1986. So that's what I'm saying. You can't tell me nothing about no Brass Monkey. Now he said he's around our age, so I think he's a little bit on you. He said, well, I was there, Mr. Campbell, when the streak was broken. I think the streak was broken between 94 and 98. That still means you couldn't drink with me. So I'm just letting you know. So I don't have a Brass Monkey.
I tell you what, I'm gonna give you some. Since on the subject of monkeys and drinking, I'm gonna give you something else to try. Then
what's that?
Try some monkey shoulder.
Monkey shoulder. Now wait a minute. Hold on now. Let's take our time with this. What exactly is in monkey shoulder? So
no, monkey shoulder is whiskey.
Oh, it's whiskey. That's the name.
Monkey shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, try it.
Okay, I'm gonna have monkey shoulder. Now, is this a regional brand? Is this
no? You get all over the country, anywhere in the country.
Okay,
monkey shoulder. It's not new. It's not new. It's been out.
Okay,
it's pretty good though.
So let me just tell you, so with me, I've never been one of those people. I don't like being drunk because I don't like to be out of control. Not to say I have not been drunk. But one of the things, as I got older, and like I said, I'm just saying, nothing wrong for people to drink, but for especially people that drink, understand that liquor is not good for you. It is really poison in your body. There's nothing redeeming about drinking hard liquor. Okay, now you drink wine, a little bit different. So as I got older, and I saw my friends having yellow eyes and things like that, I purposely just stopped drinking. So I don't drink. So I can tell you, like last year, I can count on maybe two hands all the drinks I've had. And 90% of it was one beer. Because I don't drink anything but one. I'm not going to drink 2, 3. I'm going to drink one, especially with the car I drive in Atlanta. I ain't got no time to be getting stopped, getting my insurance jacked up. Because, bro, I got a camera in my truck, so just to make sure the man don't mess with me.
Look, I used to live there, so you know what COB stand for.
Listen, thank you. And see, so I was back there when Newt Gingrich was representing that district. When them boys was really wild, boy. See, I go back to Newt Gingrich time. Okay, let me listen. You know what? Let me tell you this story. I need my partner. Shout out to Mike Bonds, Beta Nu Alpha Phi Alpha, St. Louis. So my boy Mike's father worked for Chrysler, right? And Mike was able to get cars, what they call green sheets, so basically at cost, right? Mm-hmm. So Mike always had a new Chrysler. So at that time, back when Heavy D and them, they was always rapping about Grand Cherokees. You know what I'm saying? That was the thing before Lexus came on. You had the Grand Cherokee. So Mike was one of the few people who had the loaded Grand Cherokee. So I had just moved to Atlanta. And Mike was like, hey, take me to work, because he always got pink eye for some crazy reason. He always got pink eye. So he worked out at Goodyear, out there on Peachtree Industrial, right? I go out there, pick him up and stuff like that. It's 5 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? We about to go kick it. Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? We about to go kick it. So I'm driving and getting ready to get on 285 to go back to Cobb County, right? All of a sudden, I see police lights. Woo, woo! I was like, whoa, wait a minute. So, there's those little bitty medians, and then it's the highway. So I drive up because I'm not going to step on the highway. All you hear is white, get out the car with your hands fucking up. I'm like, wait a minute, what? I mean, I'm not speeding. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing anything. So I get out the car, I'm all like this. Walk back to me, turn around. So I get to him, and I'm like, you need to tell me what the fuck are you screaming about? Now, this is my young age. This ain't old Steve. This is 25-year-old Steve. Now, my boy Mike is letting down the window. Please shut up. I'm like, no, bro, we ain't did nothing. So the cop says, we got a report, because Mike's car was brand new zone, that a Grand Cherokee was stolen off the lot from Chrysler. How's that possible? I said, wait a minute. So let me get this straight. You got a report that a Grand Cherokee that missed this description. Absolutely. Well, what happened was in St. Louis, you don't have temporary tags that go on the tag part. They put it in your window, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he tried to say because he didn't see the tag. I said, well, Mike gets out of the car and say, hey, man, I got everything. So we asked him, well, let me ask you a question. What exact dealership was this stolen from? Oh, I don't know. I just got the report. You guys just need to make sure that you're here in Atlanta now. They're here in Atlanta and we're in Georgia. You got to have the tag visible. I'm sitting like that, man. Come on, bro. This is what we doing. This is what we doing. And I'm sitting up there like, bro, so let me get this straight. Now, I'm not saying this don't happen, but you can steal a car at the car lot, brand new.
Yeah.
In the daytime?
Yeah.
Where did you do that at?
I've seen it done before.
Okay. Help me out. You seen it done?
So hold on. So I don't know if I told you, but I used to be a used car sales manager when I lived in Louisiana. So I got stories. I got stories.
So we did not know that. Now Zoe, the tech genius. Used car salesman. Yeah.
No, let me tell you. So let me tell you. So when I was at Jackson State, man, I was a theater major. So that's why I lived when I was in New Orleans. That's why I was in New Orleans. I used to act, man. I did Deja Vu, Glory Road, The Time to Kill. Like I was extras like a lot of movies. So I sold cars.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on, bro. Wait a minute. So if I go pull up Time to Kill, bro, you back there in the courtroom scene? Oh,
I was just somebody in the courtroom in a Time to Kill. Yeah. So when I was in Louisiana, shout out to Kelbo McGowan too, man. When I was in Louisiana, I used to live in Baton Rouge for about 4 years, and I was in New Orleans for about 3 years. So the whole time I was in Louisiana, I shot at the All-Star Ford Lincoln Mercury in Prairieville, Louisiana. So I was a used car sales manager, man. Real spill. For the whole time I was there, man. Well, I started sales. I started at Duplessis Cadillac. People in Baton Rouge know what I'm talking about. Shout out Miss Carolyn, the only female black general sales manager in the state of Louisiana, by the way.
Okay.
Starting sales and then moved up. But when I was doing acting then, I did Dukes of Hazzard too. Did that in Clinton, Louisiana. Deja Vu in New Orleans. So, when you act, so sales, you can kind of get off and move around like you need to.
Yeah.
So I was used car sales manager or used car lot at All-Star Ford Lincoln Mercury. So, but to answer your questions, this is around time when Katrina hit and everything else. So yes, I've seen a car get stolen off a car lot. It happens. Back then, it can happen easy if you ain't paying attention. You ain't on your P's and Q's.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, bro. All I need to say is that was the last time that me and Mike drove with that Cherokee without that tag right. Because them boys was fired up. Boy, we would get stopped in that Cherokee coming out 75 every time. And then one last thing. I used to stay up Peachtree Industrial also. And of course, I would drive to Atlanta to kick it, right? And I mean, there was this old white guy. What's the name of that? That's not Roswell. It's another little town. Whatever.
Where? Alpharetta, Johns Creek, Roswell.
Yeah, before that, yeah, right.
Milton.
It might be Roswell.
Roswell, Milton, Peachtree Corners, all this over there.
Peachtree Corners. So my boy would see me coming up, smoking up that way.
I do have a sad card, by the way. It's expired.
Hey, my man, listen. Yeah, we got to talk about that. And I mean, my man, bro, he would stop me every time because I knew he was sitting. He sit the same place. And the white boy said, "I know you're down there in Atlanta drinking. I will catch you one day." I said, "Boss, let me tell you something. I know you sitting right here, and the last thing I'm gonna ever give you the satisfaction of you catching my black ass and putting my Lincoln. I had a Lincoln back there, it was a stinking Lincoln, boy, Lincoln LS. So if I got my BMW and everything, I said, no, we not doing that. So bro, them cops, man, bro, in Atlanta, and probably everywhere. Like I said, we already know. One last thing, talk about the cops. See, this go back way back. Out there in Madison County. See, this was back when black folk couldn't go out to the reservoir zone. So let me tell you this quick story. I had a little pickup truck with chrome wheels on it, right?
Mhm.
So me and my little high school sweetheart, we gonna go out there by the reservoir, go look at the big white houses, you know what I'm saying? And dream about how life is gonna be. So I come back one of these neighborhoods. Next thing I know, woo! Like, once again, brother ain't speeding and stuff like that.
Oh, you ain't have to.
Oh no, absolutely not. Man, everybody know exactly what I'm talking about. We got a report that was breaking and entering. Matched the description of this truck, and he just stepped outside the truck, sir. So I used to play baseball. So I had a bat in the back of my truck, right? You know what the white boy said? Did you use the bat to break in? I said, man, listen, let me tell you something. Let me just let you know something. So I had to pull rank on. I went to St. Joe Catholic. Do you know the Irbies? Don't let me call Mr. Irby out here. I just came from his house hanging out, lying like an ass. You know what I'm saying? But his daughter was my classmate. I knew I could you said that like, well, just to let you know, son, just be careful when you're out here. So yeah, you gotta be careful out there with them folks, man. Just had to let you know. So I know things. I know y'all out there living out there now, and everything. And, y'all to migrate out there, living out there. So, but see, back when I was growing up, you wasn't supposed to be out there. So I was supposed to be out there hanging out.
Man.
So here we go. So all right, so let's get the show going. Yeah, and we go. Hey, listen, Zoe, I got $20 if you can show us your ZAG card. If you can find it, not this show, I'm gonna give you $20 put on your wedding. So either that or something. Listen, let me tell you what I want y'all to do. I will give anybody $50. So tell us some of the places you went. You was in Time to Kill. What else?
I did Time to Kill, Deja Vu, Dukes of Hazzard, and Glory Road.
Okay, ZAG card. How you pronounce it, Zoe? SAG? Is it SAG? Yeah. No, I know how you pronounce the SAG. Is ZAG or SAG? SAG.
Screen Actors Guild.
Right, listen, man. If anybody of those shows, those movies that's Zoe name, and if you can find Zoe, I'm gonna give you $50.
Look,
I need somebody to find Zoe in any one of these movies, and I got a hot $50 for you.
And look, and a boatload of Mars Bar and Mars Bar commercials, and damn, what's my dude here in Jackson? I forgot so damn quick. Richard Schwartz.
Not Jamon. See, Jamon. I think Jamon's a Southern guy. He said he was in Get Out. No, he wasn't in Get Out, was you?
I got the hell up out of Atlanta.
Those one of them boys in the back. They were looking. Oh man, shout out to Get Out.
Oh
man, that's a great movie, man. That's a great movie. Oh man. Oh wait, hold on. Who's this? Let's see. Here y'all go. My dad was an extra in the church scene at the time to kill exit 119. See, we live in Mississippi. All y'all ran down there to get that movie, man. I saw y'all, man. I saw my home folks down there. But so listen, man. Hey man, the NCAA tournament's going on. Big Bad Duke played today against Danny Hurley. I'm gonna tell you something, Zoe. I remember with Danny Hurley, who always in the shadow of his brother Bobby, played at Seton Hall, really didn't have a great career there. But it was one thing about it, he was more like his daddy than Bobby was. Everybody said that.
And to give context, his dad was a legendary coach at St. Anthony's.
St. Anthony's in Jersey City.
And all played there. And he was a real well-renowned basketball coach. And Danny more or less took up after his dad as a coach. And as we all know, most of the time, you're really, really great athletes don't pan out typically to be great coaches, just a non-athletic one or least heralded one. And that's what Danny was.
Yeah. So, and man, I don't know if anybody, so Jersey City, a little bit closer to New York, but it always had this mentality that, hey, we ain't New York, we ain't Philly, but we tough as hell in Jersey. And that UConn team down 19 points, Duke looked like they getting ready to sign their trip to Indianapolis. And then this what happens, though. Let me just pull this up. And this what happened. Now, I'm just going to say this. I'm a North Carolina fan as I'm setting this up, so. Father from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Shout out to Fayetteville, North Carolina. Fayetteville State, a lot of grass. North Carolina Antique, got a lot of family there. So my father was a North Carolina fan. So I've always been a North Carolina fan. I go back to Field 4. So back before Michael Jordan. I go back to Field 4. Y'all go look him up, you young folks. And everything. So for us Carolina fans, though, hold on. This right here, other than beating Duke, nothing better is when Duke actually loses. And this is what the last play of the game happened right here. And let me just set this up. 10 seconds left. Duke with the ball. Possession arrow UConn, which was very important because they could tie it up. But remember one thing. They didn't have to get the ball across half court. It was only 10 seconds. Here we go.
Seconds to go. Got to cut and run through the ball. And who better than this guy? Get it into Boozer. Back for Sarr. Ahead. Boozer. That ball deflected and stolen by Mullins. Caravan, 2 seconds. Mullins tosses it out. Oh! It's good. We're point 3. UConn goes in front.
Let me just run that back one more time.
Man, that's a dagger there.
This guy. Get it into Boozer. Back for Sarr. Ahead. Boozer. That ball deflected and stolen by Mullins. Caravan, 2 seconds. Mullins tosses it out. Oh! It's good. We're point 3.
Now, let me say something. As a big basketball guy, I wanted to see who was on the floor. I think 3 of the guys on the floor were either sophomore, and with the two Boozer boys are freshmen. Sophomore, I think the other guy, one of the guys upper class. This is what happens when you build your team around all freshmen and don't really know the rules of the game.
But
it was only 10 seconds left.
That's the coach.
Well, I'm about to get to it.
That's the coach.
So 10 seconds left. Hold the ball. You don't have to bring the ball across front court.
But that's the coach got to tell him that.
Try. Even if they tie it up, might be 2 seconds left. You move the ball around. All Boozer had to do was just hold the ball.
Oh, get fouled. They're going to foul you. They're going to foul you. They have to.
They got to foul you.
They got to foul you.
Game over. And listen, shout out to my man Greenwood, always in the building. And this was the thing here, man. I know. Coach. Listen. Now, Shire has had, man, listen. He done had Cooper Flagg, Con Knippel, Cameron Boozer. I can't remember the first group of guys he had because when Carroll left, I can't remember that first group of guys that he had. But the bottom line is, this is Duke. All these number 1 picks, all this lineage, and once again, these guys can pull it out. So I know you didn't get a chance to see the full game. They were down 19. But what did you see right there? And you said about the coach. And what do you think right here? The pressure with John Shire is going to start right here. Even though they get in the final 8s and stuff like that. And I'm not saying he's in Hubert Davis category because he's getting further than Hubert. But how much pressure you think is on John Shire next year?
A lot. I'm going to be honest. I don't think the Duke job is going to stay what it's going to stay where it is. Duke got the money, man. They're going to always, be able to get a coach in there. But I don't think Duke will be what it was under Krzyzewski. I don't. Because you got to remember, Duke is not the flagship school, and it's not a state school in North Carolina. It's a private school. And North Carolina is North Carolina. And again, they just got rid of Hubert Davis as well. But man, I know people look at the fact you got 3 freshmen on the floor. That's even more reason why a coach should know this. You see what I'm saying? That's the very moment that he actually makes the money that he's getting paid. Because I got this inexperience, I got this great talent, this great inexperienced talent on the floor in a pressure situation. This is the time when you rise as a coach, because I should be mindful. Look, that's why I say, man, coaching is easy. We try to make it all, what it really is. It's simple. Just like football is running, blocking, and tackling. Man, basketball is, boxing out, rebounding, making your shots, making good passes. It's simple, man. All he had to do is, man, look, just get the ball in bounds, hold the ball, get fouled, make a free throw. We win the game. By even saying that and doing that, you take the pressure out of it. Because really, it's not a pressurized situation. All you got to do is get the ball in.
Yeah.
We don't, because here's the thing. We don't have
the ball in with no problem.
No, I'm saying, no. But they got it in, but then he didn't tell them just get it in. Because had he told them that and instructed them on what to do, coached them what to do, that last play wouldn't have transpired. He didn't. And some people say, well, you got this great talent. Talent isn't anything without the coaching. It's a happy marriage. You have to have both. You can't just talent your way to a championship. There has to be some coaching in play in some shape, form, or fashion. Because if that was the case, man, Calipari would have won way more championships. But you know why he hadn't? Because he would get out coached. It's a good marriage. It's a good marriage of the two. but it's totally on the coach. It's not on the players at all. We can sit there and say, if Boozer just hold it. No, Boozer doesn't have the experience to know that he needs to hold it. That's the coach's job.
No, he doesn't.
Hey, guys, we got 10 seconds left on the clock. How many timeouts do we have? We probably don't have any timeouts. We'll run this play. Just get the ball in. Let me make sure I got some good free throw shooters in. Get fouled. Do not move the ball. There shouldn't have been one pass made once the ball got in bounds. It was 2 other passes. Only one pass needs to be made. They would just get the ball in bounds. Hold it. Because if I just hold it, they got to foul you.
They got to foul you. You don't even have to worry about getting the ball all the way across court. You don't. All we got to do is hold the ball. Hold it strong. Even if they get the possession error, which again,
and watch.
And hold on before.
And watch this, Steve. And then guess what? If you get fouled, you go to the free throw line. If you make one, that's really all we need.
That's it.
Because even if they make a shot like they just made then, it's a tie ball game. See, again, that is coaching. A failure to coach in a pressurized situation caused that loss for Duke.
I want to see one thing, and then before I want to, because I was about to pull up something, but I want to see one thing I was curious about is the time when Boozer had the ball, Big Boozer. Because I thought it was the little Boozer. Let me see which Boozer was it. Let's see here. Because that was the thing. That was really key to your point. And why did he even throw the ball? Let's see. Here we go. Let me get that up one more time. So, again, 10 seconds left. And so, again.
Seconds to go. And run through the ball. And better than this guy.
Well, that's Big Boozer right there.
Get it into Boozer. Back for Sar.
Now, this is his brother, his twin brother right here. So you got 7.3 seconds right here, Zo. Right here.
Ahead. Boozer.
Threw the ball at 6 seconds. So again, right here, how many? If he would have held the ball right here,
Boozer back for Sar.
They got to call a foul.
Boozer. That ball.
At least we got it down at least to 4 seconds.
He would have got down till about maybe, I'll say 4 point something.
Yeah, 4 point something at least.
Mm-hmm.
At least. Now, hey, listen. Now here's what I'm gonna say for the young fella. I understood what he was trying to do. These guys are open. Okay, I'm gonna give them respect. These guys are open. But again, as they say in football, when you pass it, 2 out of 3 things can happen. 2 of them are bad. And this is what happened here. Either you can intercept the ball, get the ball knocked out, which what happened, or you could just hold the ball.
I'm gonna tell you what it was, Steve. It was inexperience. He wasn't thinking.
2 seconds.
He was just doing something he wasn't thinking clearly. And that's the issue with inexperience, not thinking clearly. And that's why a coach has to come in and give you instructions, clear instructions on what to do. Because guess what? You're not experienced enough. Because again, talent doesn't equate to, say critical thinking.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's a bar right there. Shout out.
It doesn't. So guess what?
Say that one more time for the people in the back right there.
Talent doesn't equate to critical thinking. So here's the thing. So you don't have the experience yet in these situations, in these critical moments. So let me instruct you on what to do.
Now, this was something that, of course, Carolina fan had to put this.
I saw that too. And Duke 2015.
I want you to look at the dudes. And we talking Brandon Ingram. I think he was second pick. Luke Kennard, Jason Tatum was 3. Bagley was 2. Zion Wilson was 1.
Gary Trent Jr. Go back, Gary.
I'm talking about guys that was in the top 5. I'm naming.
Oh,
these are guys are top 5 that I'm naming.
Wendell Carter Jr.
All these guys. Thank you. All these and a lot of these guys were on the same team.
Man.
Okay. Pablo Beccaro, Jalen
number 1 pick.
Killing now for the Hawks.
Man, hold on. Damn, Duke has had 3 number 1 picks. 3 number 1 overall picks.
Yes, in this time.
Hold on. 3 number 1 picks. Paolo Beccaro,
Zion,
and Cooper Flag.
Yes, sir.
God,
and Connor Knipples is probably gonna be the rookie of the year because he done ran his boy down.
Dog.
And Blues is gonna be a top 4 pick.
They had 3 number 1 overall picks. Shit.
And all those, like he said, and all those are mostly 90% of them. And like matter of fact, all of them, I think, on this list are all freshmen. I'm pretty sure everyone on this list, well, Luke Kennard might not have been a freshman. I'm pretty sure he's not a freshman. But everybody else, Trey Jones might not have been a freshman. I think he stayed another year. But everybody else, Mark Williams might not.
Rocky said freshmen don't win championships.
No, they don't. But I was looking because this is going to tie into something. Now, how much you think Duke NIL? Could we not agree Duke probably got top 5 NIL payments without blinking, though?
Does what?
Does Duke probably has top 5 in NIL payouts? They're got to be.
Oh no. They probably top 10, but I can't just guarantee they top 5.
You don't think so?
I'm not gonna say that they ain't, but I can't guarantee it because
I believe they're more than 5 and lower than down to 10.
Let me tell you why. Because man, it's some teams that's in the top 10 that you ain't necessarily thinking that's in the top 10.
Well, see, great setup. Keep going because you about to set up my next topic. Go ahead. So yeah, no, I agree. Now there are people that are paying money, but I'm just gonna say somebody in the chat see if you can find out basketball NIL because I know for a fact Kentucky is number 1 overall with $22 million, which is gonna tie us into something. So I saw something that just got reported that I think the Jackson State folks should probably. I'm gonna say this. I know Jackson State people are not upset. It was more people, Rocky, that was kind of couldn't believe what this story I just said. I'm gonna share this right here, so that I just saw. We got to talk about this because this is J-Town, and this is for the parents out there. Kentucky, let me make that big for my folks in the back.
Duke is top 5.
Huh?
They top 5.
Yeah, well, I thought. And do you know what number there? What number there exactly? Do you know?
It doesn't say, but the top 5 is Kentucky. Well, I guess going by this, they're number 2. So Kentucky, Duke, then Arkansas, then Indiana, and then Louisville.
That's all.
And then the rest in the top 10 includes Kansas, UConn, Arizona, BYU, and then Tennessee.
There you go. There's no doubt about it. It is no doubt about it. BYU was crazy. Them Mormons, because the Bonds was supposed to go to Carolina. Them Mormons came out there with them checks, boy, and got him out there. And he was right there talking about, well, he's African, and I think he might be that. Some of the Africans are Mormon, which is interesting, but I ain't gonna get into that.
But see, my point is, you're gonna have you probably wouldn't think that Louisville will be there or Tennessee.
No, I would, because you gotta understand something. That's that old bourbon money, and them white boys. That's that, man. That's a horse racing money, man. That's proud tradition, Louisville. Louisville got money, man. That's the reason why.
No. Here's the thing. What I'm getting at. We know that they got money, but there's some names in here that ain't here that you would think should be here. That's my point.
Okay.
Because watch this. Where's UCLA? You see what I'm saying? Like, I can name where's Texas A&M because there's not really too many schools in this country that got more money than Texas A&M.
Facts.
What about Texas A&M? Where's Michigan? Where's Ohio State? Like I'm telling you, it's names in here that's not here that you would think should be here.
Big facts.
So,
which leads us to this interesting story that I saw. Kentucky basketball lands son of NBA champ HBCU coach. So Mo Williams' son, Mason, just made a commitment to Kentucky. The younger Williams, rated 4-star in 2026 class, has chosen to play college basketball in the SEC. Of course, his father will play to Alabama for playing in the NBA, including championship. He's a 6'2", 185 point guard at Tennessee Collegiate Academy, ranked just outside the top 100. He's a top 15 point guard, number 3 overall prospect in the state of Tennessee, which is big basketball state. Ole Miss, Memphis, and Washington Texas Tech were free to offer him. He committed to Kentucky basketball just days after his visit in Lexington. Williams had initially committed to play for his father, Jack State, but he decommitted in December. His older brother, Mike, spent his freshman year at JSU, a 3-star prospect. He had 5 points. So, well, last thing. Jack State went 12-21 on Mo Williams, 56-24 in 4 seasons. What do you think about this? Now, I'm going to say this because I think this is obvious.
I got one thing to say before I even get to me personally. I got a problem with HBCU Game Day writing this article to begin with. Me personally,
I'm not shocked by that.
me personally, because this article is kind of like a slight, because it's almost like, oh, him being committed to Jackson State was a footnote, when the fact that he is Jackson State basketball coach and his son is the reason why it has an HBCU tie to it to begin with. So we want to make Jackson State a footnote in this article, when the fact that Jackson State is HBCU is the sole reason why you're even clinging as an attachment to write the freaking article. So it's just that, but it's par for the course for how they do. Because, I'm gonna always make sure that I bring this up. And shout out to Steve Gaither, cool dude. I have no bones to pick with him whatsoever, right? But I always make sure I bring this up about HBCU game day. Pre-Deion Sanders, they didn't give two shits about the SWAC.
I'm gonna let you finish.
So let me make sure I put that there, because there was no SWAC coverage. They would literally make a point to like maybe get Grambling for the Bayou Classic or some shit like that. But whatever. But now to this point, man, shout out to Mason. Him and Mike actually both won a championship at Germantown High School, as well as Sam Funches out there, man, who signed with Gonzaga. But man, kudos, man. Look, first off, congratulations to Mo. Mo did his job, man. You got some of your boys, man, to get a free education in college, which what any parent should be striving for if your son play any type of athletics, because the goal is not necessarily the NBA, is to get a free education. In NBA or NFL or anything else is landing out. It's just extra. It's a bonus if you can get there. But man, this kudos to him. I know some people may feel like, oh, because his dad Mo is coaching Jackson State, he should automatically go to Jackson State. Man, listen, I'm not one of those parents, bro. I believe a child should live and run the course of their own life. And shout out to Mike for going to Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? Freshman year, I think he took a red shirt this year.
Right.
But if we're under this estimation that every kid that Mo has should automatically just go to Jackson State, then you'd be mistaken. And we shouldn't be giving him a hard time if he chooses not to. Look, last time I checked, man, Archie Manning is Archie Manning, right? Ole Miss football great. His first son, Cooper, went to Ole Miss. Hey, did Peyton Manning go to Ole Miss, bro?
Absolutely not, because he was scared. I'm gonna tell you the story about that, but go right ahead.
Listen, went to Tennessee.
Eli.
Look, went to Tennessee and went to Tennessee solely because of David Cutcliffe, Randy Sanders, and forgot the old head coach, Philip Fulmer. And I tell you what, and literally, Archer would tell you Peyton made a damn good decision. It was the best decision for him. And they got a lot of flack because, man, you can't send your boy here.
Oh, but listen, Zoe, you gotta understand something. I was in it beyond. It wasn't a lot of flack.
No, listen. I remember
Archie got his own.
Listen,
let me just say one thing. Archie got, and the reason, that was the main reason why Eli went. That was one of the main reasons that Eli went to Ole Miss.
I remember it vividly. Trust me, I remember it well. Peyton is just, you know what I'm saying, a year ahead of me. So I remember all of it very, very. Him and Joy Kidd, Marcus Nash, when they all signed together. But the point I'm getting at is, man, every child has to live their own life. And I'm in the minority of forcing your child to go somewhere where you want them to go. It's their life. My daughter is an amazing softball player, right? Amazing softball player. And, I told her as a parent, I said, man, I got two things for you. You give your best effort because it's you versus you. And if you make a decision, you support your decision, you stick to it. We don't quit. But now at the end of the year, if you don't want to play anymore, then you don't have to play anymore. But if you decide that you're going to do it, you're going to do it. That's it. Because guess what, man? I told her, guess what? You the one that got to go to practice. It's your life. You play it, not me. So I don't agree with people wanting to force their kids to do something or force decisions for them just because other people want to win a game or something. So no, man, kudos to Mo. And Mason and Mike, they're two totally different kids, and they're not even Mo's older child. If I'm not mistaken, Mo's older son with the Alabama with Mo as well. So, and he's coaching on staff. But nah, man, it's cool for him. And who knows? He may go to Kentucky for 1 year. Who knows? Look, he either gonna be good enough to leave after 1 year and get drafted, or who knows where it may go. Hell, he may end up back in Jack State. We really truly don't know. But this whole thing, like he just got to go to Jack State, nah, man, that's the wrong energy to have.
Rocky, don't say that wait before you get going, because me and Zone don't finish this.
Nah, and this whole thing is just like, and it's almost like basically like saying, "Oh, you can't recruit your boy. You can't say that." I
got a lot of noise in the background. Rocky, that's
you. Rocky.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Just mute yourself real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, this whole thing is almost like saying, you know, oh, you can't get your boy to get here. Nah, man, how dare anybody say that to him?
Right. So
anybody.
This is my thing. First of all, he ain't the first son of a coach whose son didn't go play for him.
Facts.
I want to start there, and I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna go way back. Zoe, you probably remember this. You probably was in high school. You remember Allen Houston that played for the Knicks?
And Wade Houston was coaching in Tennessee.
Wade Houston was an assistant to Denny Crum. Allen, now this is when Louisville was rolling, okay? Rolling.
Yep.
They gave Wade Houston a job at Tennessee. At this time, Tennessee was horrible in basketball, in men's basketball, horrible. They didn't have nothing since Ernie Grunfeld and my other guy, and Bernard King. You know what I'm saying? The Bernie and Ernie show. That's how bad they were. He went, now he was a USA Today top 5 player, had everybody want. He was supposed to go to Louisville. You know what he did? He went to go help his dad out. And that was one of the worst mistakes, even though he got drafted in the first round. But Allen Houston coming out should have been top 5 pick. I think he was like 10 or 11.
Let me tell you to that story. Funny thing, right? A really, really, really good friend of mine, his first cousin name is Donald Watts. I'll peel the cover back for you. I'm sorry, Tony Watts. Think about his brother. Tony played at Mississippi State and was a dog when Allen Houston signed with Tennessee. Tony Watts is the son of Slick Watts.
Slick Watts.
Slick Watts wore the headband. Slick Watts is who popularized the headband for the Seattle Supersonics in the 70s. It's from Rolling Fork, Mississippi, by the way. Played at Xavier, got drafted, and had a nice career for the Seattle Supersonics. Right? Tony Watts' his son. They lived in Washington State, which was an anomaly at the time.
Right.
But they had Mississippi ties because, you know, Slick Watts is from Rolling Fork. So shout out to Jason, man. I know you've probably seen the Jason Word, whose dad is Roscoe Word, legendary football player at Jackson State. All right, so for a story, so they was competing because it was an anomaly for Mississippi State to even get a player of Tony's caliber, and Tony was a dog at Mississippi State. They both signed the same year, Tony at Mississippi State and Allen Houston for Tennessee. And coincidentally, Lindsey Hunter was at the same time at Jackson State, which you know Allen and Houston, Allen and Lindsey ended up being drafted together.
So this is my thing, and you know, again, and I want to be very clear. I want to be very clear. This was not Jack State people talking about why he didn't go to Jack State. Jack State people understood the game and have respected. So I want to be clear that because there, but of course, you got folks that want to put their 2 cents in, and I ain't got no problem with it. But this is a business decision. Kentucky had the #1 NIL at $22 million. The kid gonna get paid. At the minimum, he gonna get $500,000. And I'm just saying, and I'm lowboating that. At the minimum, he gonna get $500,000. So you have your son that has the opportunity to play anywhere he wants to play. First of all, it's his decision where he wants to play, not yours. It's his opportunity, best opportunity. Kentucky made the tournament. They got to do something next year, or Pope is going to be up out of there. So whatever they're going to do, they're going to try to get the best players. So I don't see why anybody made a big deal out of this when this was a business decision. And like you said, if it don't work, guess what? He always going to play for his dad, which is no problem. And shout out to my man V-Matt. We said it right here. Jeff Capel, that's right. It's daddy. I mean, perfect analogy. Sure did. And his other brother didn't. His other brother went to play at Carolina. So this is the thing about when people were making this like a big deal, when this is like, bro, this ain't no big deal. This young man got every opportunity. And if that was my son, my daughter, and I was the coach of FAMU, as much I love at Jack State, love Jack Grambling, love Grambling. And they said, you know what? And I was big time. And they were like, hey, go get a little Steve, 500 grand.
I'm gonna be honest. I know y'all. I'm gonna be honest, and y'all might think I'm capping, but if it's my child, the money is an afterthought because he got the offer at other places. I'm being real. Kentucky is not the only school that's offering him money. So what I'm gonna tell my child is, you make the very best decision for you. Because guess what? You can have the money, and we can all think about. And a lot of people are really forcing the issue about getting the money because to a lot of people, it's the offer of for an amount of money that some of them won't see in their lifetime, and that's all they're thinking about. I'm gonna keep it a buck. But money's not the forefront of the issue for me. If it was my child, I would literally say, make the best decision for you. I'm not saying go Jack State. So for anybody who's coming thinking that's what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying that. But if you want to go to Jack State, go to Jack State. But you make the best decision for you, because at the end of the day, money or no money, you have to live with the consequences of your decision. Point blank, period. Nobody's going to practice for you. Nobody's going to have to live through the game for you. I'm not worried about you giving money to me or your mom.
Right.
None of that. It's your money. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could help and do something for us, whatever. End of the day, man, it's your life. And my thing is, I'll say, I'm not even gonna say that this is what I would do. I can't even say that because I came up and graduated in 1996. The whole landscape of college sports is totally different. So I can't say what I would do, but I would definitely say, make the best decision for you. So it might not be Kentucky. Hell, it could be like Sam. Because I can tell you right now, Sam Funches, he's not getting $500,000 to go to Gonzaga.
Right.
One of the best bigs in the country. So, and guess what? And he had an offer for Kentucky too. Matter of fact, Sam is rated higher than Mason. And they played at the same high school. Sam signed with Gonzaga. He's not getting $500,000 to go to Gonzaga. I'll just tell you that now. So my point is, so if I got a kid, before anybody come here, so is Sam is wrong for telling Sam Jr. to go to Gonzaga or going to Gonzaga over Kentucky? Because Kentucky offer more money, right? So was he wrong to tell his son to go to Gonzaga? Because, most people make the decision solely about money. Yes, he's going to get paid some. But, you know what I'm saying? If it's that, then it's almost like my child is for hire. Your decision is based on who gives the most amount.
Right.
So if Michigan is giving $1 million and Kentucky is giving $750,000, no, you can't your ass to Michigan. I disagree. I wouldn't do that. I would say you make the best decision of where you want to go.
Now, I'm going to say this. It's always about fit and where you're going to, because again, there's a lot of people that, again, money is the root of all evils and everything. And I'm going to say this real quick, though, just as a joke. If Steve Jr. getting $500,000, he buying me and his mama something. I'm just telling you, bro. I got to get something. I'm just trying to tell you, pay off the Escalade or something, bro. You got to do a little something for your boy. All right, Rocky. Listen, we got you up here.
So both of you gentlemen have made very compelling points, right? And I want to go back to the Eli point, right? You guys are almost told a Mississippi tall tale by framing the conversation the way y'all did. Y'all do remember that David Cutcliffe was the head coach at Ole Miss, right? When Eli signed.
Rocky, listen.
I said that.
I'm telling
you.
I
said that.
Okay.
I said that.
All
right. Because I said Cutcliffe. Hold on. Because I said Cutcliffe was the OC at Tennessee.
Yes.
And Randy Sanders was his assistant. Let me tell you. So I'm tied to this. Let me tell you why. So my cousin who played at Purdue, Randy Sanders recruited my cousin to Purdue. He also helped recruit Peyton Manning to Tennessee. That's why I'm Peyton either year older than me. I remember all this way too well.
Yeah. And I think that, and I said that to say this, I believe that was the reason why ultimately Eli went to Ole Miss, is because they had hired David Cutcliffe. Like that's really, I think that Eli would have went somewhere else.
One
had
part.
it not been for that situation.
It's one part.
Wait. Let me speak on this. as a St. Joe guy who went to school with parents with big Ole Miss white boosters, they will listen to me when I'm telling you when Peyton went up to Tennessee, all hell broke loose. They thought, well, they say the South will rise again because they thought Peyton Manning, because he had wore the Ole Miss stuff. They got pictures all over, and he went to Tennessee of all places. Okay, Eli came around, and I'm telling the pressure, and Archie never wanted, as he said, wanted to put, but the pressure where he didn't even go to Ole Miss games. This is Ole Miss royalty, and I'm telling you from Ole Miss folks that Eli was going to go up there because he didn't like to see his daddy the way they was treating, and he said, "Daddy, I'm going to go up there." And Eli, you could say Cutcliffe, but I'm telling you, 50% of that, but the other 50% is because he wanted to make sure that his daddy was not miserable because, and you got to say, his mama was the Ole Miss homecoming queen.
Yep, but Eli is more Ole Miss than Cooper or Peyton. If we keep it in the book.
Wait, what now?
Eli is more Ole Miss than Cooper or Peyton.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm trying to tell you what I know. So it wasn't when people were recruiting and things like that, he was still number one guy, just like Peyton, and he was going to Ole Miss. It wasn't a shock. But let's get on to that. So Rocky,
so you guys made a compelling point. I just want to come on here real quick and say this. I understand why Mo Williams because these things are family decisions, right? It's just not about basketball, and it's just not about money. It's also about fit and things of that nature. I'm just simply saying, when we in the HBCU space have had conversations, Zoe and Mr. Campbell,
yes, sir,
about kids not taking the money and choosing the cultural experience over the money that's being offered other places, how do we justify having that conversation when a person who is being paid by an institution, their son or daughter for that matter, chooses the money over the cultural experience?
Wait a minute. Let me hear that again. So
I said we've had conversations back in football season,
okay,
right, about how kids should choose the cultural experience rather than taking the money.
Okay, you know what? I'm glad you said that, because one of the people that we talked about was our nephew, Andrew Body. And people said, Andrew needs to go get money. So like I told you guys, I used to be an agent. I already kind of knew what the word on the street was. And I came on the show. We talked about what he should be looking for. Group of 4, potential to play in a conference championship, get in the playoffs. Because I already knew what the money was. And my thing was the money was not. So you remember when we were talking, people like, oh, you're gonna get 5. And I'm not, and I'm just in the conversation, not to say that you were, but we were talking about people like he need to get 500, he need to get $1 million. I'm like, that money ain't out there. I'm talking to people. And my thing was, if he can get 200,000, 250 for Alabama State, and he gonna get 200,000 from UAB, stay at Alabama State. You're gonna be the face of the SWAC. You're gonna be able to put up Steve McNair numbers. You're going to be able to showcase more than play for a really bad team at a lower level group of 4. So that's my thing. Now, if you got a kid that some of these kids are jumping up and going to play and get money, then fine. But for somebody like Andrew, that was going to be the face of SWAC, and there were other opportunities I know, far as with his fraternity. I know those guys in the fraternity trying to get him money, and they're getting them money. I know other people that are talking to him. There's a lot of money he's going to make being the face of the SWAC, compared to being at UAB and they go 2-10 and he getting his head knocked off. That's my thing. So you take $350,000 at UAB, get your head knocked off, or take $250 at Alabama State and be a superstar and be a legend.
Let me say this too. Going to an HBCU, the only thing that an HBCU has to offer is not just cultural experience. So it's not a black and white. You go HBCU, cultural experience, or go over here as a business decision. It ain't that black and white. You get money at the HBCU too. HBCU basketball is different from FCS football. So you're getting paid. No, it's just at certain institutions, you make more money. Simple. It's simple. So that's not the only thing that HBCUs have to offer. I mean, they play a typical non-conference schedule just like those Power 4 programs. Now, the talent gets weak. The competition decreases, obviously, in conference play more so than those. But just like you can have the Fab Five at Michigan, you can have a Fab Five at an HBCU, and they can literally change because the players can change the total outlook at an HBCU or any other basketball program. It can happen. All it takes is a great investor to do it, and all you need is one damn good year. Because I can assure you, it's just like we talking hyperbole, right? We could sit there and say, okay, what if you had 5 dynamic freshmen to go to for one season at an HBCU, and they do some groundbreaking shit? It's going to get more, not just ratings, but probably even from a marketing standpoint than it would like at a Duke or North Carolina. Because we're talking about something that never happened before. Because I remember vividly what it was like when the Fab Five were at Michigan, representing the Horizons and everything else. So players make the movement. But not to get too far in the weeds, I just want to state that going to an HBCU, the only thing that HBCU has to offer is not just cultural experience. I just want to say that because we need to stop with that narrative. Like, oh, you just go here for this, but really you go over here for all of this. It's not true. HBCUs pay too. Bethune-Cookman had $1 million NIL, right? Well, that's not every HBCU, so we're not going down in the weeds from it. But I can say, guess what? Not every D1 program is paying like Kentucky. Like, we know this. But the same token, HBCUs are paying. But they're you got some that can pay, some that can't. But they do offer the culture experience as well, Rocky, to that point. But they have other things as well because my point is, and I'm not trying to be devil's advocate here in what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, to be frank, it's not black and white. There are so many other things at play into a decision. It is fit. It is cultural experience. It is, what degree do they offer? Hey, am I really a serious contender to get to the NBA? Or, where's the school located? Do they have my major? Do I like the coach? Hey, is it a coach on the hot seat? My AAU coach is fit to become the head coach of this particular program. Like, you have so many parameters as to, because basketball is different. It's totally different. And one player can shift the paradigm for any particular program. And so that's why basketball is different. But because you've had a 5-star player sign with Howard coming out of high school, loves his experience, right? End up leaving. Have we heard from him again? So my point is, you had a 4-star to sign with North Carolina A&T and played damn well at A&T. Then he ended up leaving. I think he went to Wake Forest or somewhere else, and actually had an okay career. Duncan Powell, what was his name? You look at what Deshaun Ruffin is doing at Jackson State. A whole lot better at Jackson State than he was doing at Ole Miss. But again, yeah, he was making more money at Ole Miss, but Deshaun loves it here in his home. But again, it's other outliers to that. That's all my point is.
And I get what you're saying. What I was moving to is my criticism, and I was one of the people who text Mr. Campbell and mentioned that it was surprising to me. There's a couple things that surprised me about it. Now I don't know much about basketball recruiting or anything like that. So everything I get is reading from sources that I have.
Okay.
Just reading. Everything I looked up when I researched the kid is, in some places he's a top 100 kid.
Mm-hmm.
In other places, he's like a 200 kid. So he's kind of all over the places as a recruit. And maybe that's not all over the place in basketball. But he's a kid that let's say he's a top 200 kid. He ain't.
If I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna let you go. All my Jacksonians know when we talk ball, he legit. I'm just gonna tell you.
So what I'm saying is, you're saying he's rated lower than his actual ability, in your opinion.
No, well, yes, but from what I've seen, he's rated he's a top 100 player from what I've seen. Most publications I've seen, he was rated a top 100 player. He's a 4-star player. So I mean, he's up there and increasing and rising. But I'm just saying for all my Jacksonians who know, because you know this, Jackson's a basketball city. Oh, he legit.
But as far as I could read, he's not projected as a pro coming out of high school, or not coming out of high school, but coming as a freshman. Like he's not a kid that's projected to be a lottery pick or anything like that. That's what I'm saying.
No.
So, and this goes back to my conversation with Steve. My conversation with Steve was around, well, why wouldn't he give his dad a year, right, to make an impact on the SWAC level? And he could always go get the money. And then, Steve, you said something a minute ago that I have to agree that in take Mo's professional basketball experience out of it, take the fact that he is the Jackson State head coach out of it, right? That's how everybody else would play it. They would go get an opportunity at the biggest platform they could. And if that doesn't work out, they would go back and play at a lower level. And because your dad is Mo Williams or whoever, you shouldn't be denied that opportunity. And I agree with you guys on that. You guys have kind of swayed me to think that look at it as any other kid, any other prospect, just because his dad takes a check from Jackson State doesn't obligate him to do anything with his future or his life. And I agree with you. And that's kind of
Rocky. I would venture to say he was committed to Jackson State. But what if Kentucky's his dream school, and he finally got the offer? Like, I'm saying, notwithstanding, because money's in the play, everybody's going to say, "Oh, you went there because they're giving NIL." Everybody's paying. Everybody's paying for the most part in D1. Everybody is paying. It's just different amounts to it. But my point, that's the reason why I brought the whole Gonzaga thing, right? Because I'm saying, Kentucky, he had other Power 4 offers, Rocky. So my thing is, and it's, I know we probably get away from it, but maybe Kentucky may have been his dream school. Straight up, it's very, very possible. And I was holding out for an offer from my dream school. They gave it to me, and I committed. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying that's not out the realm of possibility as well.
And then let's also look at this, because I also look at the business aspect of it. And this is something I came up with prior to, just thinking out loud, is that what if Mason's commitment from Jackson State puts the overall commitment of the program in jeopardy, meaning that if they pay Mason this number, they won't be able to get other players as well. You understand what I'm saying? Like whatever Mason is requiring, it puts constraints on the overall budget as far as getting other top prospects. Because again, if he's that ranked that high, even at the HBCU level, he may require a number that is pretty significant, I'll say.
No, that wasn't an issue for Jackson State. That scenario wasn't.
Okay. So he was going to get something at Jackson State as well, yes, but it wasn't going to be that much more significant than anybody else.
No, he was going to get what he was going to get at Jackson State. I'm not saying that was going to sway him to maintain to keep him, but again, I'm speaking from the context of money wasn't the only motivating factor for him to sign with Kentucky.
Oh well, I mean, of course, there was, but again, I just look at it, and maybe it's my looking at it as an opportunity to play for his dad. I romanticize that opportunity more than it really is. You know what I mean? A son being able to play for his father. I romanticize that as something being very special, once in a lifetime opportunity. And what kid wouldn't? Well,
it's a one in lifetime opportunity, but Mo's already coaching his son. He has a son on the team right now. I mean, and he's coached him in AAU ball as well. So, I mean, I know some people say, well, maybe he want to coach all of them. I mean, maybe so, but let's be real. Like, how often do you actually see that with a coach and multiple sons and do it with all of them? That's an extreme rarity in and of itself, right? And so, again, he was committed. It is a rarity. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, kudos to him. Like I said, because it very well could have been his dream school. But again, coming to Jack State to play for him wasn't going to be a thing where if he committed and stayed and signed, it was going to hinder anything else that we could do. It didn't, because we have a top 5 guard in state as it is right now, who just won a state championship with Pascagoula. That's going to be on campus next year. Mo's recruited well all 3 years that he's been there. top guys in the state, and they've gotten paid too, Rocky. But again, no, they're not making Kentucky money, but they're getting paid. Jackson State leads the SWAC in a cost of attendance, and have every year since Mo's been there. Believe it or not. And that's not the only thing that they rely on. But again, being truthful here, no, Jackson State's not paying, not even the top 50 money for, each individual player, but they're paying them. And again, as they do better with funding and sponsorships, that can increase possibly, right? And even if they do, they're still, we're just keeping it a book. No, they're not paying what Kentucky's paying for obvious reasons, right? But again, that's not the only motivator, for all these players signing. It could be a multitude of things. Some guys don't even just want $500,000 or $1 million. Some guys want, hey man, you got to, give me a car, $1 million, a whole little checklist, as we know, right? Look at the kid from Kansas who signed with Kansas and didn't even want to play. He played like 10 games this year, right? So, I mean, it's the cost of doing business. But kids are going to different places for different reasons.
Hey, fellas, I appreciate y'all letting me on, man. I just wanted to bring that up and talk about that, man. Like I say, I mean, y'all definitely kind of, elevated my thought process about what was going on around this issue. Like I said, as a father who has 2 sons, I just thought, the romanticism of coaching your own kid was such a compelling opportunity. I just thought, it would be something that both him and his son would embrace, especially at an HBCU. But you guys have definitely made a clear understanding that that's just one aspect of it. There are other factors that, and that bread don't even matter. Is absolutely one of them, but it's not the. But it's not
only thing, yeah.
Side factor. All right, then, fellas, I'm out. Y'all be good, man.
All right.
It's Rocky Miller, co-host of HBCU Coach's Corner. Rocky don't even know, but we got a show on Tuesday because I got a big time guest that just contacted me that wants to be on Tuesday night. We're gonna talk about that on the end of the show. So we're gonna take a quick turn, talk a little bit of HBCU politics, just a little bit before we get back on the sports thing. And it's something that I saw that, again, you gotta, and listen, man. I got my first thing is, a lot of people know my family, they marched. It's all about voting for me. I'm gonna start with this. I don't care what your political affiliation, I just want you to vote. But I do want you to vote on facts, not on fiction. And some of y'all didn't vote, and some of y'all voted on fiction. I'm not gonna say which side it is, I'm just gonna leave that. But so I saw this, and this is why I say voting matters. So let me pull this up and see what you think about this. Because this right here is one of the most asinine things that I saw. But as they say, there was a happy ending to this story. But the headline, because we got to love the headline. Chat GPT used by DOGE to cut funding at HBCU. I'm going to say that one more time, Zone. Chat GPT used by DOGE to cut funding at HBCU. Scroll on down. Documents revealed that the DOGE worker used ChatGPT to determine whether or not North Carolina Central got funding cut. North Carolina Central revealed that a federal grant was terminated after the government used AI to evaluate whether the project was related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. According to discovery documents in an ongoing lawsuit involving the National Endowment of Humanities, staffers connected to the Department of Government officials, better known as DOGE, used ChatGPT to help decide which federally funded programs should be cut. Among the grants reviewed were 3 tied to NC Central. In one case, ChatGPT asked whether a university project related at all to DEI. The project focused on helping faculty and staff use materials from digital NC and the NCCU archives to create teaching resource and course modules while engaging the broader university community and Durham residents. ChatGPT answered that the initiative did relate to DEI. It was said to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion. The grant was terminated in 2025. But here, as they say, God is a black man. The award totaled over $89,110 4 years. Well, by the time the grant was cut, the school had already spent most of the funds, and only $5,977 was remained that could no longer be used. So, the Trump administration hiring the best people. We want people that are qualified. We want to make sure that we're getting the best possible people. And some white boy didn't have the wherewithal to do the research and said, let me use ChatGPT to cut. And thank God, like I say, thank God there is a God that it was at the back end and smart for central, because we all know, anybody know that work in education or anywhere, if you get a budget, you better spend it. So help me out here. What am I missing to not see why is this not a big problem right here and why people are not going nuts and not right and going crazy?
Well,
you know, let me say this. I want to say something. Y'all do know this ain't the only HBCU they probably did this to. This is just because, thank God, this lawsuit pulled it out. Talk to me, Zone.
Well, 2 points I want to make here. As the current resident IT professional on the screen, so I do want to tell y'all that using machine learning in the framework of this to get something done, 2 points I want to make. First thing is the framework of the wording of the question when it's presented to DOGE. That's the first thing. The second thing would be, if I were to put in anything using the framework of the questioning and put DEI and framing my question or statement to deny funding, it's easy to pull that, because everything that you see right now is what? The removal of DEI. So what that statement doesn't tell you is the framework of the statement and the question that was put in to assist in getting the denial or the dismissal or the cut for the funding. So what's very telling that the article is not stating is the person who did it, because it shows, number one, racist, or number two, racist agenda. And that by itself is the problem. Because again, when you frame things, or if you're typing certain things, machine learning, ChatGPT, all of them, DOGE, Grok, all of them, it learns the way you ask questions, and it learns the type of answers, and it learns the type of answers that you want to give back. So there's a lot of moving parts within this. But at the end of the day, what it goes to tell you is, if you have an agenda for what you want to do in regards to what you question and what you give for statement wise into the machine learning apparatus, it's going to give back what you put in. And it's learning the ways in which you put it and how you want it back.
Here's the thing, and everything was correct. But this goes back to the whole point. What they used the funds for had nothing to do with DEI at all. Zero.
No.
Had nothing to do with DEI.
It doesn't have to. When I want to frame to get you denied, I can input what I want to put in. And again, it's enough negative jargon out there throughout the world, right? When you put in those particular words or hot words to assist you in getting a denial. So it's not about what, you know what I'm saying, what is, to your point, Steve, it's not even about whether DEI has to do with it or not. If I'm going to seek to get you a denial, I'm using ChatGPT to assist me in wording it the best way possible to get you that damn denial. And so again, that's just, you got to be a bad, you know what I'm saying, manipulative SOB, racist SOB in doing so. And again, some people won't stoop to no bounds to deny people in any shape, form, or fashion.
Man, it just, man, again, and then we might have time. We talked about something else. We're going to end that with that another topic of a person. But man, listen, the Nicki Minaj, the Nick Cannons, the Chili's. I saw our homeboy Sway Lee. They brought out another video about him. Man, some of y'all just need to stop. Stephen A. Smith on here. Like I say, let's keep it a buck what he got going on. Again, if you about policies, because listen, go Google my man Rufus Montgomery. That's my classmate. That's my boy. He one of the top Republicans. That boy been a Republican since we was in college. Boy, it's about policy. I don't agree with it, but I respect it.
I do respect it.
If you about policy and all that, and you can make, but when you want to sit up here and make a social, I'm not going to talk about the social that they use or want to say that you are not qualified because of the color of your skin, or black women don't need jobs because they're angry, some of y'all need to check yourself.
Yeah.
Some of y'all really need to check yourself and understand. And like I say, some of y'all sit up and hide behind some of this false flag social agenda, but I'm gonna call you out for what you are. That ain't how we move around here. And like I say again, I'm not saying that any party is better than other, but I will say this: Donald Trump ain't good for you. Point blank, period. Now you take it however you want to take it. And I don't care if you got a problem with me, you can always, and we can have a whole show about this. But this is what I'm talking about, man, about how dangerous this is. Because again, cuts are going to come and things like that. This is what happens whenever everybody moves the money around. But when you go and to this point where to purposely hurt the academic and educational mission, which again makes the country better. I'll tell you one thing, last I checked, anytime a black person get educated, according to the stereotype, he's not a stereotype. So to me, you probably want to be educated, according to them, because of the stereotype. So my problem with all of this is to sit back and to see, and shout out to Alma Adams, because I'm going to clear this up. When y'all were talking about a certain person got money for HBCU, he did not. It was Alma Adams, HBCU alum. Go Google it, because I'm tired of that lie. That is a lie that some of y'all like to put out there because you don't know no better. Alma Adams got that money for no HBCUs. And she fought tooth and nail, and that's how they got the PPE money. So when she let the white folks get the money, she said, oh, we got to get us some too. So I want to clear that up real quick. But this is the thing that just bothers me. So I'm just going to say this, and we're going to move on. There's an election coming up, y'all. And this affects you all. Because most of you all are watching the HBCU alums. It affects your schools. It affects your children. It affects where you work at. Think about what it is and get off of this one social issue that they're trying to get y'all caught up with. And I ain't going to name it because y'all know what it is, how they keep playing y'all. And y'all around there talking about that matters. When that ain't got nothing to do with your job, ain't got nothing to do with your kids getting financial aid, ain't got nothing to do with you getting loans, ain't got nothing to do with if you work in a federal workforce. So wake up. So I just want to say that because this bothered me because this, and this is one thing. This just shows you how callous people are, that they don't even have enough respect for you to even do the research to kill your shit. You know what I'm saying? Bro, leave me like, listen, man. I'm going to say this real quick, man. Shout out to the Ronald Reagan and George Bush here. At least they come up there on Capitol Hill. Well, we've done research and we found this and we found that and we think this and blah, blah, blah. They give you some paperwork, Zoe. They give you some paperwork. Y'all believe in that for a hot second. You know what I'm saying? Conservative values and things like that. We want people to build their own businesses and things like that. But damn, bro. My man went 30 seconds chat GPT. And so we gonna cut 90,000. And I'm telling you, because what's gonna happen? Because one thing about black folks, we're gonna start doing research. And we're gonna start finding out there's more money being cut. And then you're gonna find out it's gonna be something that you like or love, your stuff got cut.
You gotta say it right though, Steve. That joker with ChatGPT and got the answer, then copied and paste.
Copied and paste, bro. Bro. He's like, listen, man, I ain't even got enough time for y'all to even waste my time to even do no research if it's DEI or not. All I know is that's black and DEI equals black, which I'm gonna say this again. 99% of y'all don't even know what DEI even means from an academic level, which is where it started at. So I'm gonna leave that at that. And I'm gonna say this one thing too. To all the white folks, stop using woke wrong because y'all don't even know what that means either, because that's bothering me too. But we're going to move on from that, so because we're going to get on some spice I know you want to talk about. So, I guess this is a little bit of politics too. But this is really talking about how people see you. So, Cam Newton has his YouTube show called 4th and 1. And, Cam Newton is, and I know Cam Newton, shout out to Cam Newton. Shout out to the cigar bar. I got pictures. We'll let y'all know me and Cam at the cigar bar with Jay and all those boys. But Cam Newton brought on Jason Whitlock. Now, Jason Whitlock, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a guy, though. Like I said again before the internet, I used to, and I'm gonna say this. I did the first Black Sports Writers Roundtable here in Atlanta at Super Bowl. I am a big fan of Black sports writers. I used to go. There was a place right there, Triangle Mart Zone. There used to be a newsstand, and they would have the newspapers from all over the country. And I think it's now Cleaners or something like that or whatever. but it used to be a newsstand. They would get all, and I would go read all the black Ralph Wiley, Brian Burrell. Man, I used to read all the. I remember when Stephen A. Smith came. I remember
Man,
when
shout out Ralph Wiley, man.
Right, man. Shout out to Ralph Wiley. So I am big, and so Jason Whitlock, great sports writer, but Jason Whitlock decided to make a turn, and he and Stephen A. been going at each other's neck. So Cam Newton said, "You know what? Let me bring up Jason Whitlock." So we're gonna play first of all the hot reel, and then we're gonna get into some of the things that Jason Whitlock thinks about Cam Newton. And I'm gonna see what you say on the other side here. So here we go. Let's get this on up here. Here we go. Jason Whitlock, 4th and 1, Cam Newton.
Why do so many people hate you?
Jason Whitlock is a click-chasing clown.
I can't believe he's still with us. I don't think anything works harder than his cholesterol.
Probably the worst individual I've ever had the displeasure of ever being associated with.
They hate what I stand for. Most of these homosexuals in the media scared to death of me. You're not scared. I have no interest in being relatable. I have an interest in being biblical. Stephen A. He's fraudulent. He's lying about his college basketball career. In 4th grade, got held back because they thought he was retarded.
I think he is the peak of the spear in sports journalism, whether we want to agree with it or not.
The LGBTQIA plus BLM alphabet mafia attacked me. If Matt Stafford was here, he'd slap the taste out of your mouth for comparing
He won't get
him to
far.
Trevor Lawrence. Cam could have won 6, 7 Super Bowls, 3 or 4 MVPs, and could have had the resume that would have made all the dreads, the outfits, all of that irrelevant. Could have been Michael Jordan. And Cam is sitting out there, no, I want to be 2 Chainz.
Never.
How are we all viewed as black men?
We have an audience of 1. If I catch you at an NBA Finals playing solitaire, I think you're gay and don't like basketball.
That's aggressive.
Yeah.
That's very aggressive.
You asked, Cam.
Now, so I'm gonna play because one of the things, it wasn't so much as Stephen A. Smith, but I watched this whole interview, and one of the things I found interesting, and we got a lot of young people. Shout out to the young folks that's under 35 watching the show. Shout out to y'all. Sipping on Sundays, me and Zoe Phillips, North Jackson's finest, on the Off Script channel, on the Rocky Mill channel. And I struggle with this with my young brothers because, as they say, people paved the way. But I think what I heard, he said, Cam Newton, you could be a better player, or you could have been a superstar if you wasn't worried about fashion how you hair. So I'm going to play that clip. Because I'm like, what does that have to do with being a football player? I can see, because I, consult a lot of young folks. I can see if you're going to work at the Fortune 500 for the man and things like that. Look at Scotty, cut your hair, get your job and all that. But you're playing football. But this is the things I want you to see this and explain this to me right here. What Jason said to Cam right here. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let's see here. I should have a timestamp. Go ahead. Here we go.
I don't think you can do it presenting yourself.
Okay, let me back it up a little bit.
Any player that reminds me of John Elway, I hop on the bandwagon immediately. That goes from Cam Newton to Colin Kaepernick. Early in his career, I'm a huge Cam Newton supporter in the NFL. It reminds me of John Elway. I think this guy has a chance to go on to be, because I consider John Elway the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. I'm like, Cam could surpass him. Cam then, in my view, made a pivot to where he wanted to be a bit more of a cultural icon. And I thought it was a mistake. I think that when you're a franchise quarterback, there's a clean-cut way that the organization wants you to present yourself. I think that young men, particularly young black men, have spent way too much time worrying about their hairstyle, their fashion statements, any of that. I think it's all a mistake. I think it's all a waste of energy. I think that it's an indication they've taken their eye off the ball as it relates to their career, and now they're worried about other things. And so I started becoming critical of Cam. I'm like, hey, man, all this dressing up with the hairstyle, with the bonnet, with all this, like, man, you got to lead a football locker room. I don't think you can do it presenting yourself in that way. And so I became critical of Cam because I thought he's doing things to mess up what I think could be an all-time great NFL career. I look at Cam now in the media space. I see immense talent. I see a team around him that's putting him in position to shine. If he tones it down more and allows people to focus on what's actually coming out of his mouth rather than how he presents himself, I think he could have even more impact in the media space. But I've been very, celebratory of a lot of Cam's content.
So that's the first part of it. What you think about that? What Jason Whitlock said? Right, wrong, in the middle, and two things could be true.
He's a walking contradiction. He's speaking of Cam, the way he presents himself by the attire.
A lot of what you guys do around him and how you present.
He's speaking about Cam and how he presents himself with the attire.
But I just
think he
for
doesn't,
the most part.
But he doesn't talk about how you present
some
himself.
People say, and I think I researched this at one point.
I thought this was interesting, right? Because when he said you had to look a certain way to lead a football team. Now, I don't know if a lot of people, like I say, shout out to Cam Newton, Westlake High School. And Cam Newton and Jerry Richardson, and this is Cam Newton tells this story. Jerry Richardson told Cam Newton straight up, you're gonna be clean cut, you're not gonna have earrings because you lead my football team this time. And if you go Google Jerry Richardson, he lost the team because he was shady as hell behind the scenes with women. But he was an old redneck, type guy. And if I'm gonna draft this black quarterback, he gonna look a certain way. And if you remember Cam first years when Jerry Richardson, he clean cut. And I'm gonna say this as a brother. I've seen Cam Newton about 1 billion times. Cam Newton is a big, good-looking young man.
Huge.
Big, and I'm talking about brother's a good-looking. I'm talking, and again,
listen.
I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about when I used to see him all the time, clean cut. But you know what? Jerry Richardson told him. But here's my problem with this when he says leading the team, right? And by how you look. It always amazes me when this never comes up with white boys. And see, white people can look a certain way, but was Ben Roethlisberger a good leader? And he around here allegedly, or did have a sexual issue or rape of a woman in a bathroom? Is Aaron Rodgers, even though he's clean cutting, goatee, but he talk all that craziness on Pat McAfee's show and says what he says? Is Brett Favre, Mississippi, down there and showing his penis, drug user, racist? He was a great leader. So why is their personality? Why is it about how we look? But it's never about how anybody else's personality dictates how you lead. Because last time I checked, if you're a person of great character, you could be a great leader.
Well, Steve, let me say this. The first thing about the whole how you look and present yourself, I hate when they say that because the only reason for how you look is to be marketable. You don't have to be marketable to be a winner. You could be a quarterback that don't do no commercials, but you won. So that's
you could be a quarterback to do a lot of commercials, ain't never won none. The guy.
But my point is the whole thing about the look, that it's all about marketability. That's it. It's the only reason why I talk about how you look and how you present yourself. But let me also say this too, Steve. If you pay attention to football, what year do you think Cam Newton was in when he started to grow his dreads out?
Oh, listen. Oh, he was in the back end of his career.
He was on the tail end of his career. Matter of fact, when his skills were on the downward trend when he started to grow his dreads out. You do know that, right?
Well, it also coincided when Jerry Richardson was no longer the owner of the team.
So my point is, that this point that Jason Whitlock is making is hogwash. When you say I turned from him as a fan, Cam had already been to the Super Bowl because when he lost the Super Bowl, when he jumped on the fumble, did Cam had raised in?
2, 3, 4 years ago. But when Jerry Richardson either passed away.
Hold on, Paul and Steve. So Cam,
I was trying to find the next. Go ahead.
So look, all of Cam's best seasons, he had a clean cut. He was Cam Newton as you've always known him to be Cam Newton. So this whole point that he's making up is bull jive. But again, when we don't like something and we're prisoners of the moment to how you look down, we want to translate that to when you were playing. That's why I say it's bull jive. But the point I was making is he was talking about Cam's looks in support of the way he dresses. Your appearance is not just the way you dress. I can say the same thing about Jason Whitlock because whenever you're on television, period. If we talk about presentation, Jason Whitlock is a fat slob. Overweight slob.
Shout out to Jason Whitlock for acknowledging that. He did say that.
He's an overweight slob, right? But again, when you present yourself on TV, you need to look a certain type of way as well. Now, granted, I'm gonna always give kudos to where it's true. So I came to know Jason Whitlock on Sport Reporters back when I was a shorty, right? When I was a youngin'. And he, like I said, we all know if you really want to, if you are into sports journalism, and a lot of us are, Jason Whitlock is a damn good writer. Probably one of the best. If you're talking about sports journalism, gonna always give him his due. It's one of the best in the business, even to this day. But when he get on that screen and get to open up them fat ass lips of his, man, he will make you detest him. And we all do. Because when I say he speaks a bunch of nonsense all the time, stepping and fetching nonsense is the only thing that comes out of his mouth. Literally. It all gonna make you beg the question. You know the old quote, Steve. It's better to be thought of as a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Facts.
If he stuck to, because the Jason Whitlock that you read about, it's a whole different Jason Whitlock when he opened his mouth on camera. It's like it's two different people. But that right there was just some bull jive, man. And he has no credibility whatsoever. It's to the point now that Jason Whitlock has to say extreme stuff to remain relevant. And we all know this now.
I'm gonna play this clip right here. There's another one I'm gonna play. This is when he compared him to could be Michael Jordan. This is what I thought was interesting. Jason Whitlock telling Cam that he could be Michael Jordan.
Could have done exactly what Cam's talking about. Cam could have won 6, 7 Super Bowls, 3 or 4 MVPs, and could have had the resume that just said would have made the dreads or whatever. I don't know what the hairstyle is called. The dreads, the outfits, all of that irrelevant. This man could have went out on that football field and been Superman for 15 straight years and won 3 or 4, 5, 6 Super Bowls and MVPs, and he could have been Michael Jordan. And if I were Cam's agent, that's me and Cam would have been having knockdown, drag out fights, wrestling with each other. Like, I'm gonna make you Michael Jordan, and Cam is sitting out there. No, I want to be 2 Chainz.
Never.
And I'm like,
so you saying clothes and hair?
Y'all know I hate to use that word, but I was like, man, you can be Michael Jordan. Well, we not fooling around with this rap mess.
So clothes and hair dictate your success. That's what you're saying.
No,
not the depth of your career, not the depth of your career, not your work ethic, not who you truly are, but you saying your representation dictates.
You took your eye off the ball and got involved with, hey, I'm gonna do it with fashion. I'm gonna do it by appealing to the culture. I'm gonna do this. All Cam had to do was win games.
What did that have to do with winning games, though? What's the correlation?
Okay, if you want to make this point, Jason, I feel that that's very hypocritical of you because you don't like fashion.
I'm not anti-fashion.
When I would see you on Speak for Yourself, you used to wear hats and you was drippy, as I would deem, right? You don't wear hats no more.
For a fat person, I was drippy.
But did it take away from your?
So the man said he could have been Michael Jordan.
Let me add context. I have to say something to try to ingratiate myself on this platform, because you can read through that bullshit. That's cap. He don't believe that. He's never said that, and he's never been one to miss his words. I'm just saying he's almost gaslighting Cam Newton, if you want to keep it a buck. He's gaslighting him on his own podcast.
Right. This was, like I said, this was just fascinating because, this is one of the things that, we have a lot of conversation in the Black community, especially with young men, well, even women too. But, the young men, how can they express themselves, hairstyles, clothes, all these different things. And it always amazes me that we always fall back to those white man stereotypes about what is appropriate based off of what he thinks. And that he thinks that if Cam Newton would have kept his hair cut, that he would have won more Super Bowls. That just, I'm just like, I'm like, bro. Now, if you want to listen, and not to get on it, now, if you want to make the criticism, like Michael Vick, this is no secret. This is well reported. Michael Vick didn't study the playbook. Michael Vick, they said, play a lot of video games. Michael Vick was not serious about his craft. You know what? I can see people making that argument. People told Michael Vick that, and he has acknowledged, I should have been more professional when I was in Atlanta. But that had nothing. And Michael Vick was clean cut. Michael Vick was a pretty clean cut cat. He wasn't around there all tattooed on his face.
Hold on, but you know what though? And I'm glad you made that point. Michael Vick was actually the opposite of Cam. Remember, Michael Vick, when he got drafted, braids, do-rags, the whole nine, right? He went in reverse. He went even more clean cut as the years went on.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's just like, it's amazing to me when I see this. So with that being said, everybody got an opinion. So you know what? Ryan Clark had to enter the chat zone. So Ryan Clark,
he backtracked too.
Yeah, well, he should. So Ryan Clark made this post, and my problem, hey man, I love Ryan Clark. What I love about Ryan Clark is that brother worked hard to get that position. Man, that brother was coming up there while he was playing football, not getting paid, learning, on first take, learning how to get it done, has built a lot of things. But Ryan Clark is one of them people, man. I just be like, bro, in the great words, what's the coach say? Just don't hit send. What's my guy? Just don't hit send. He's the coach for the Jets. Man, it's like, so here's Ryan Clark, and Ryan Clark makes this post right here. If someone you show love has you on their show twice a week, at least, you don't bring his known enemy on your show and allow your guests to talk BS about that person. That's not G at all. Loyalty is at a minimum these days. First of all, bro, why you just don't tag Cam Newton in this? Why you gonna do the undercover tags, oh? Well, what is that about? Why are you going to, not man up? So of course, Cam had something to say about that. So let's see what Cam had to say about that. Where is that? Here we go.
And keep it up, fam. I'm about to say, it's not about being big. If you talk about Coach O and weight, Coach O is fresh every time you see him. So it's not about your size. It's about how you carry yourself, how you dress the part. You ain't never seen Otis looking sloppy in front of a camera, ever.
So let's see here. This should be, here we go. This is Cam Newton responding back to Ryan Clark. Because this was a big mess, boy. Stephen A was like, hey, why you having to ask questions and everything? Cam, I kind of had to go with Cam on this. Here's Cam Newton responding back to Ryan Clark.
Well, I always got it done. Go at Stephen A and Ryan Clark. I always got it done. I say now, welcome.
Come on in.
Okay, y'all right.
That dude there so cringe, man.
Yeah.
Man, we got people telling you, we on how we should do business.
First of all, I just got one thing to say, and I
that
think
dude there is so cringe,
you can't
man.
call me Peggy, bro. You can't call me.
You can't call me Peggy, but that dude is so cringe, man.
Yeah, you can't. I heard the story why it is. You still ain't gonna do that. But let's get back to it. Cam Newton.
It's here on 4th and 1. Okay. And that's none other than Ryan Clark. Mr. Clark, come here, boy. All right. So Ryan Clark takes it to X. And he tweeted, if someone shows you love, has you on their show twice a week, at least, you don't bring his known enemy on your show and allow your guests to talk ish about the person. That's not G at all. Loyalty is at a minimum these days. And Cam, he is referring to obviously Jason Whitlock coming on 4th and 1 and your relationship with Stephen A. Smith. And he said you shouldn't allow somebody to come on this show and talk about Stephen A. But Cam, talk about what goes on here at 4th and 1. It's a moment of silence, bro.
Okay, I had to take a moment of silence because I got to leave with love.
There you go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Terry, you know, I rock with you.
Yep.
But just like in any household, just like any locker room, just like any situation where there's some type of brotherhood,
yeah,
we're going to have our disagreements.
For sure.
And this ain't no different. We just going to have to agree to disagree.
Brotherly love, brother.
You go to Twitter, I go to 4th and 1.
Oh, we always got it done, brother.
We talked about it. He sent me a message. That's cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I didn't know he went to Twitter. I was going to leave it at the conversation.
Yeah.
So therefore, he said his piece to the world.
What you going to do?
Now I say my piece to the world.
Okay.
So you mean to tell me that you going to tell me
Watch out.
who me can and can't have on me platform?
Yeah. That's what he meant. My platform, but yeah.
No.
Yeah, you understand. Oh,
you gonna tell me who me can have on me platform? I don't go and say to you who you can have on your platform.
Yeah.
You understand?
I understand what you're saying.
And this is the thing, because this is just not about Ryan Clark, because I have so much respect and appreciation to my brother in content, to my brother as a former athlete, to my brother as a very well-spoken individual that has opened doors for the likes of me and the others.
Yeah.
But one thing that's not going to happen is a puppet string attached to my back.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you stopped it there. So again, so at the end of the day, let the record show this the lane that he chose to go down. I'm not a puppet. You can't control me. But Ryan Clark said nothing about, hey man, you remember that you need to be controlled because you do this. But there's a thing about loyalty and decorum. And, you know what I'm saying? Also being respectful of how you got what you got. Right? So it's one thing to say this is on my platform, or over here we do what we want to do, right? But let's be honest, 4th and 1, it took off exceptionally where it is now by Cam being on First Take.
Right.
Like he did the podcast beforehand, right?
That's fact.
And it was doing some things, but when you think the moment you got on ESPN, it took it to a whole other stratosphere, right? Also, you getting paid elsewhere through ESPN. Now, I ain't the smartest person in the room. I got one kid. You know how many kids Cam Newton got? And people say, well, he got millions. He ain't getting NFL money right now. And guess what? And he himself has even spoken as much. So when people say, oh, he got money, it doesn't matter. I've never seen any other person say, I got enough money, I don't need no more. Never. Right? Also, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, it ain't about money. It's the fact that somebody did a solid for you. And your idea of repayment is, let me bring your known enemy on here to assassinate your character on my platform. And I know this beforehand. And I'm going to angle it by saying, oh, I just wanted to talk about other things. Come on, bro. You knew the very thing. It was also, let me say this. Not just the fact that you brought him on there, the fact that when he started going down the lane and he was going down, talking about him, you never once stopped at the interject, said, we're not going to do that, man, or whatever the case may be, or try to change the narrative. And the way he moved, it was like, oh, let me set the table so you can get your shit off over here on me, on my platform. So if Stephen A came in literally this week and was like, man, I'm getting his ass off of First Take, people would say he was being wrong, huh? You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, that was foul. I mean, it ain't no other way to say it. It was foul. It was foul. It was uncouth. And you want to stand on the lane of, I'm not a puppet. So let me just say this. It's one thing if you just happen to come on ESPN just off of GP. They came to you on their own merit, right? Because then it's just, I happen to be at the station working as him. But when somebody goes to bat for you, take you under their wing, and they are the sole reason why you over here on the #1 rated sports platform in the world, and this how you repay that? Nah, that's foul, dog. And you can't spin that, even if it is your platform, because at the end of the day, you showed your character in this. You really showed your character. And at the end of the day, like Ryan Clark, all that I'm gonna say about Ryan Clark was he should have, you know what I'm saying, sit there to Cam. And he probably did. I can't say that he didn't. But Cam really showed the true character of who he is. But I'm gonna tell you this too. Cam is trying too hard to make 4th and 1 move up. That's what all this really relates to. He's trying to leapfrog and get 4th and 1 up to a place to rival Shannon Sharpe is what he's trying to do. And I'm going to do it by hook or crook. I'm going to do it tearing up relationships. I don't care about relationships or nothing else because this is my thing. So again, when people show you who they are the first time, believe them. And I see better than I hear. So again, he showed himself. He showed who he is and how he get down. He's not a respectable person by any means.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I saw. And like I say, listen, man, as somebody know how the game go, you know what? I ain't mad at either way because see, he said straight up, man, Stephen A is doing it right now with his YouTube show because he's catered to a whole group of folks to get clicks and saying all this crazy stuff. So you know what? These cats, man, listen, man, it ain't about integrity, it's about clicks. This Jason, look, so I'm looking at stuff that he got. So he got 33,000. He talked about Acho, 72,000. But guess what? 3,000. Could Cam go pro in another sport? 49,000. But guess what? Jason Whitlock, 136,000 views, 104,000 views. Then he comes back, and I think he talks about again 55,000 views. So the views is always in. Again, we talking about it. It's always in the controversy. And Cam is like, you know what? I'm gonna see, but you made a great point. I'm gonna try to have my Shannon Sharpe moment. But I want you to tell people when we were talking about when we were gonna do this topic, what you said that Shannon did that was different than what Cam did.
Well, yeah, we can talk about it, right? So Shannon Sharpe had the biggest interview on YouTube platform history, right? But it was organic. He didn't set out to have that. Just had an organic, great conversation with Cat Williams, and it did what it did, right? But Cat Williams was the catalyst for that. But you know what Shannon Sharpe does? You think if Shannon Sharpe would have on his platform, which is way bigger than Cam's, Shannon Sharpe don't have nowhere near the kids that Cam has. And Shannon Sharpe has made way more money off the field in his career than what Cam has.
But I'm gonna say this though. We do have to put this in context though. Cam didn't lose $20 million because of a 19-year-old loan.
Hey, I mean, this is true. This is true. But,
so I'm just saying that might be. No, I'm just trying to say.
Bro,
see what Cam got 6,000 kids.
But here's the thing.
Versus $20 million up front.
But here's the thing. You think Shannon Sharp is going to let Jason Whitlock come on his platform and talk about Stephen A. the way Cam did? Of course he would.
Not gonna happen.
Because you know what Shannon Sharp does? Pays homage and he still does it now. Because Stephen A. did this for me and looked out for me. And I'm going to pay it back. He wouldn't dare do what Cam Newton did. Nowhere close to it. Nowhere close to it. But again, that's age and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And Cam being a PK should know that too. You know what I'm saying? But Shannon, even to Skip, Shannon to say, you know, even though me and Skip went our different ways, I'm going to pay homage to where it's due. Same thing with Stephen A. But that right there, and anybody that want it, let me just say this. Anybody that want to cap for what Cam Newton did, right there, says a lot about you too. Anybody want to cap for that.
Hey, man, I'm going to leave with the last word. So we're going to move on because you know what spring football is going on. I saw something and made me think about, you know, we got a lot of people out there who got quarterbacks and things like that. I'm going to show you a little clip, my coach. And he said something that made me think about your quarterback zone and what's going to happen in these SWAC streets pulling up. So this is my coach, you know, talking about practice. And he mentioned something that caught my attention. Coach Quinn Gray, shout out to him. Friend of the show came on, HBCU Coach Corn. He'll be back on, of course. So this is Quinn Gray saying something. I'm going to ask you a question because this might apply to what's going on down at Jack State and probably definitely at Alabama State. Here we go, Coach Quinn Gray.
That you saw today. Well, it's coming along. You know, offensively, when you have a guy that's been in the offense at the helm, throwing at the quarterback position, it sort of kind of gives you an advantage versus having somebody that's used to, right? And a lot of times that's where the defense sort of kind of has the upper end when you got a new quarterback, a new system, and all that good stuff. But when you got a guy like Isaiah that knows the system and is able to put you in good positions, you know, it sort of kind of gives the offense a little bit of an advantage, which is why you see some of the success we've had on offense. Not to say that defense isn't doing their thing, because they're in positions, they're doing some good things, but it's just a situation where you got a quarterback that knows what it's supposed to look like and he's making some plays. And then on top of that, you got some of the young.
So, I think a lot of people don't realize we got a conference player of the year that's going to be our quarterback that knows the offense. So we actually have an experience starting out on SWAC level, but has played. But that made me think about y'all young guy down there at Lockhart. So how important was it that TC allowed Lockhart to play the way he did? And how important is it when you're looking at Andrew Body coming back to Alabama State? That's going to be a big deal. You're looking at other quarterbacks coming back. I believe, let me say this. I have heard that potentially the kid from Alabama A&M is still working on potentially coming back to get clear. So he could come back. Of course, Southern does not have a quarterback that's going to, you know, has a lot of time coming back. Texas, Prairie View got to do their thing. But so how important is that when you got a quarterback, man?
It's extremely important. So much so that if you go to the SWAC, we actually talked about this last season. If you go back and look last season, you only had, I believe it was three returning quarterbacks in conference play last season.
Right.
And it's going to be about the same this upcoming season. I think it'll be 5, if I'm not mistaken, with Lockhart, Body, returning in conference play. FAMU doesn't, even though he's familiar with the coach. But in conference, you got Jackson State, but Bethune-Cookman was a senior. So yeah, so Jackson State, Alabama State, Alabama A&M, and Prairie View, I believe, and maybe Alcorn. That's it. That's 5. That's it. Everybody else is bringing in a brand new quarterback, and so that's huge when you talk about. Within the construct of the conference, right? Because you're talking about 12 teams and only 5 bring back a returning quarterback. That's huge. If you look at last season, Prairie View is an outlier being they won the conference. And quarterback played a good game in this SWAC championship game, but look at the teams that had success last season. It was those Andrew Body, Jacobian, Morgan, and forgot who the quarterback was. Those three quarterbacks actually played valiantly, said within the conference play last season. So typically that's going to play dividends. It's hard to win bringing in a new quarterback. Now we do know that FAMU is an outlier because it's a new quarterback bringing into the league that played under the same OC and head coach as moving up to FAMU. So basically that's going to be same office and everything, but new conference, still have to get acclimated to a new team. So that still has to have to wait and see how that's going to be. But outside of that, as you know, man, continuity matters. It was huge for Lockhart to play not just against Tuskegee, but the number of games that he played. That was the blessing in disguise last season for Jackson State, because again, if Jacobian doesn't get hurt and he plays off last season, then you can add Jackson State to that number of playing a new starter with no reps. So it was huge for Lockhart not just to play against Tuskegee, but all the games. He started 4 games. Started 4 games and played well in those games, in big games. But going to Tallahassee in Bragg on the road, have good numbers. Then you talk about what he did on the road against Valley. I know people may say Valley's not good, but ask any Jacksonian, they will tell you Jackson State and Valley is Valley Super Bowl. No matter what their score look like, it's a tough game for Jacksonians. Then the game against Bethune-Cookman, like he played very, very well as a true freshman who was supposed to be redshirted. So that experience will pay huge dividends for this season for Jackson State, because, Steve, I were to tell you, Jackson State defense is going to be lights out this season. Jackson State season will hinge upon the growth and development from year 1 to year 2 of Lockhart. If Lockhart takes another step and he's better, Jackson State is going to be lights out in year 2. If not, then we won't be winning the SWAC tournament. It's going to all be on his progression.
Right.
That's Jackson State season in a nutshell. I mean, we have the best recruiting class, best transfer class. I mean, we had a bunch of great guys redshirted last year, went to the SWAC championship game and lost. In a game that could have easily been won by Jackson State and going back to the Celebration Bowl in 2 out of 3 years. And again, you're talking about a true freshman playing a great, huge role in that. Playing in 6 games in your true freshman season, now everything belongs to you in year 2. And so far, so good in spring ball. So we'll see.
Well, man, listen, I'm going to say this because, man, this is Sippin on Sundays. We got to talk, bring that FAMU in there. The biggest thing when I'm sitting back here, and again, I'm excited Andrew Body coming back to Alabama State, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. I feel pretty confident we'll at least be able to score more than 21 points at FAMU. I feel pretty confident on that. So I believe we'll be able to score more than 21 points. Score more than 21 points, we'd be in good shape and see what happens and everything. But no, man, when I heard that, and again, I think people are sleeping that, like I said, Isaiah Knowles is coming over there, like you said, with coach, knows the offense. Which gives coach, like you said, all he's got to do now is identify playmakers who can facilitate his offense. But when you got that quarterback position settled, man, that's a big deal. And that's why I sat back and I thought about this, because a lot of people were like, oh, should they have played Lockhart and Jacoby Morgan? Said it doesn't matter. The kid played, and because he played and he got this whole spring and whole summer, yeah, man, it's gonna be exciting when you see those matchups: Jackson State, Alabama State, Jackson State. And then, like I said, again, the teams got to find who their quarterbacks are. And that's what's going to be interesting to me, because, again, who's going to be Prairie View's quarterback? T. Jack is going to be looking to see what he's got. Marshall Falk got his new video out, so I ain't going to play that. We got his little new video out, what I'm saying, talking about his quarterbacks and stuff like that. So, it is what it is. So listen, we're going to wrap this thing up. We're going to talk about one thing. I kind of didn't want to do it, but I only want to do this because, again, it always amazes me when people leave somewhere and then they got something to say. So we got somebody that left. I got Coach Prime, and always amazing. It was all good until you get over there with them white folks, and then you say this. Now, this is 5-star recruit offensive lineman Jay Seaton that came. Coach Prime probably one of his biggest, if not his biggest recruit ever in Colorado. And again, he was all conference, all Americans, second team, third team. You know, a kid is clearly going to be a first round pick offensive tackle. And he left because Lane Kiffin put that money out there and he's down to LSU. But this is what he had to say, which kind of blew my mind. And check it out, Zo.
When I left Colorado, I feel like I was at a good point, but I feel like coming here, the transition from how I eat to how we work out here, you know, is just kind of different. My decision to come here was just based off, it just means more, you know. Coach uses that quote, it's just different here, and I really believe that. Being here is really just different from how we train to how we work, and the word extra around here. Everybody, we're big on extra, because just doing what's required is not enough. When it comes to work, that's what this place is about. Like, you don't come here to do nothing else but work.
So I don't listen, man. If you ain't got something good to say, how about don't say nothing? How about you say, I'm glad to be here at LSU. I think we can win the national championship. I'm excited about being here, blah, 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 whatever. But you know, man, I'm gonna say this, and I've always felt this about when Deion was at Jackson State, and I definitely felt this at Colorado. They were going to make sure that PR campaign to crush him was going to get rolling. And this, to me, is part of it. Because when he was at Jackson State, what did Nick Saban say? Oh, well, you know, he's down there paying people and stuff like that. You know, what they're doing down how's Jackson State getting people like that? Man, stop. Stop. This is Nick Saban. Out of all the teams, you want to talk about that? Now, you're going to make sure that this clip gets out, and you're going to ask him the question for him to say that. So what was the purpose of this, bro? What was the purpose of that response?
I mean, it's Lane Kiffin, man. It's how you get down wherever he's at. You know what I'm saying? Some people may say, hey, well, he was speaking his truth. Two things could be true. I mean, you can feel that way, but I mean, you ain't got to put nothing down to uplift LSU. LSU don't need no lifting whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? And if people ask you what's the stark differences, man, look, again, you ain't got to uplift LSU to put down Colorado. You can sit there and say, hey, man, we did this over here we do this. You know what I'm saying? And keep it moving. Because you would say all that kind of crap when you was, you know what I'm saying, wanted to partake in all that clout that Prime got to bring to Colorado, which was, you know, the main reason why you actually got there.
Exactly.
So I mean, it is what it is, par for the course. But I'm gonna be honest too, though, Steve. Look, whatever anybody got to say about Deion Sanders, man, it is what I mean. Have that. It's par for the course. Yeah. I mean, because look, I mean that knife cut both ways, and do unto others if you have them done it to you. So same way he was head out of Jack State, man. You get what you give. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Par for the course, in my opinion. I wouldn't have done it. I don't like it, but man, it is what it is.
Yeah, man. You know, I just think that it's just bad form. And you know, you sitting up there, you know, again, you over there with Lane Kiffin, who's shady as hell, and then you want to sit back there and you want to have no problem with everything was good at Colorado. And man, I get it. You move for the money and all that. You know, they paid you more money. You probably got a better opportunity, like I say, to get to the playoffs and everything else that come with it. But like, brothers, man, come on, man. It's just crazy. All right, so we're gonna end the show on this because me and you talked about this. And yeah, I know we talking about a lot of pop culture today. You know what I mean? Because slow sports thing and everything. But so I saw this at you know, I come back in the day, TLC in vogue.
Oh my God.
Salt and pepper. You know, hey man, listen, you know, I had a big crush on all them women. You know, shout out to Terry, you know, in vogue. They going on tours, though. They going on tour, you know what I'm saying?
They coming to Jackson.
Are they coming to J-Town? Okay.
They coming to Brandon? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, going out there. So, man, you know, they hyping up. So, unfortunately, you know, a couple of weeks ago, Kelly had made a repost, not post, saying that Michelle Obama was a man. And, you know, people like, hey, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? What is this? So, Chili came and, you know, made a post. Let me see if I can pull this up. It's apologize. But then, there was some things that folks, okay, what's going on? Like everybody trying to get on this link. But she made a response though, and she said she would never post that. But I'm trying to pull. Here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Give me 1 second here, because I'm just like, come on, man. What are we doing here, bro? What's going on with y'all?
What are we doing here?
What are we doing? So here we go. Let me play the commercial. They want. Oh, I got to get the commercial in. Shout out to the commercials. Give us some of this money. Here we go.
Hey guys, I wanted to come on here to address a few things that's circulating on the internet that's very concerning.
Very concerning.
Let me say this first.
Take your time.
I have the utmost respect and admiration for Michelle Obama, and I would never say or do anything that is disrespectful to her or to any woman. I would never do that. And I had no clue that this repost had happened until I started getting phone calls and text messages from everybody. And I immediately went to my page to see what was going on. Now, mind you, I'm not very computer savvy, so I'm looking for this repost button. And I see that.
I just got to pause that. Why does everybody, it was that first time, never computer savvy, but they can always post 5,000 things. I always just find that interesting. You know what I mean? They never can know how to do something until they do.
That all of them, all of these buttons to each other. And clearly I was scrolling and my thumb hit the repost button. Again, I had no clue that something like this happened until I got all the calls. But of course, I took that down and, you know, I would never post anything like that. I would never do something like that. That is not my character. I have supported the Obamas. I gave to the campaign, both runs, voted twice for him, and supported the organization that Michelle had in the schools for exercise for the kids. I would never do anything that's harmful or hateful to anybody. You know, I'm just not wired like that. That's just not who I am. And when it comes to organizations that I have donated to,
pay attention.
These are the things that support the veterans. You know, I have always supported them, not just now, but for years. This is not something new. So I just wanted to let you guys know, you know, this from me, you know, that I would never do anything so disrespectful, and I would just never, I'm just not about hate or anything like that.
All right, I'm gonna cut that off. Because though she said, listen,
I would never, ever.
the button got in the way. Now, the first thing about it is this was on your feed. Now, I'm gonna just tell you a little something. I got an app, work the technology, still do. And I'm just gonna tell you, stuff comes on your feed for a reason. I'm just gonna let you know that. So I'm gonna tell you something about me. I like beautiful black women. I like HBCU sports. I got a hair business. You know what's all on my feed zone? Black women, HBCU sports, and hair. Yes, I'm just telling you. You look at my feed. I'm gonna show you some black women on my feed zone. I'm gonna show you a whole lot of them. And I'm gonna tell you a secret. And I've been on Instagram, power use they call it. I ain't never once, because they added, because you used to couldn't do repost, you had to have an app. I ain't never accidentally reposted something that I didn't want to repost. So that just let you know what she already looking at. But guess what though? You know, y'all black folks, y'all got their fire receipts. Y'all always is doing research.
Well, Steve, hold on. Before you go, I just want to say something as a Zennial, mixing between a millennial and a Gen Xer. Do you know that she never took the retweet down?
Well, she said she just did. She did say that.
So
that's what happened. She left it up until let me tell you what happened. Well, let's be clear now. Let's get the timeline together. She had it up. It's been up for a second. When they start getting those folks saying we ain't buying no tickets, we ain't coming to that concert. What you think T-Boss did? Now I'm gonna tell you one thing. Again, I know T-Boss too. I'm telling you, that was some cursing. And I'm telling you, In Vogue, who older than them, that's trying to get that last check. Because you know they probably gonna open the show. So they get
hold on. But they got money already though. They got money already though. So, cause like I told you earlier a minute ago, right? Cause I ain't never met nobody who said, "I got money, I don't need no more."
Oh well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm trying to tell you, I'm letting you know, folks is getting upset because folks ain't buying no tickets. So let me tell you what y'all black folks y'all gonna do. Y'all wouldn't say, you know what, Chilling, the veterans, you know what, we like that. Let's see if we can find out where you done donated some of this money at. But so guess what though?
Accidentally.
It just, for some strange reason.
I accidentally did.
Some strange reason, the vets didn't get no money, but Donald Trump did.
Mm.
And then all by the sudden, let's just see here. They looked and she had given $879.14. 17, not once, not twice, but 17 times. And mind you, between April and November, so how many months is that? April to May, May to June, June, July, July to August, September.
Hey, Steve, I got a quote for this, man. It look like a duck, cry like a duck. It ain't no damn mongoose.
So she gave almost $1,000 in 7 months.
Accidentally. Accidentally.
Well, no, wait a minute now. But then, you know what? Sometimes we can go look and see what people find. Sometimes people like to do that. They try to do me like that, Zoe. Tom, Mr. Campbell, you following some grown folks stuff? I say, because I'm grown. That's why I follow it. So you go look and see what I follow. I don't care. But you know what? This is what happens when your stuff ain't front. So all of a sudden, all these MAGA influencers, Donald Trump Jr., Newsmax, Payne, Byron Donald, who claimed FAMU, but we don't claim him, and other MAGA content creators. So please tell me what's going on here, man. What? Wait a minute. So she said she gave the money to the veterans. So I didn't see nothing. Now, let me run this back now. Now I'm looking. It said that it don't see nothing about no vets. Don't say nothing about no vets.
See,
the majority of donations were made win, red, and never surrender. With 3 donations made to the Trump
accident.
What the veterans at, Zoe?
It was an accident, Steve.
17 times?
Yes.
$800?
Yeah, it was an accident.
She thought it was the vets.
I took the charge, but then I disputed the charge, so it didn't come out of my account.
Oh, they come out of account? Well, somebody need to apologize. She needs a retraction. She need that money back. That $897 that was supposed to go to the vets, that she thought, and that retweet. So
if she ain't no shoe black, she about to find out.
Let me get this straight. So it was 4 women in Vogue, right? 2 women in Salt and Pepper and Spinnerella, so that's 7. And T-Bar, that's 8 black women. How do you think that group chat went, Zoe? How do you think that group chat when they was like them sales, when the manager said, y'all ain't getting no sales like we thought. And he's like, why? And then they start showing them, because if you go look at them comments, bro, they're killing them comments. You realize, let me tell you something, bro. Now you my guy, Zoe. Scotty my guy. Rocky, Coach Cole. And we got a singing group. And I'm gonna just use Rocky just to mess with him. And Rocky came out and made a post about HBCUs ain't about nothing. I'm just trying to tell you that group chat ain't gonna go too well. So. I'm just gonna let you know group chat ain't gonna go too well. So I'm just saying, black women and they money, bruh, and they money, Salt and Pepper and Spinderella, In Vogue, T-Bars, bruh. I know that thing. Woo wee.
Well, In Vogue saying that song right now, give it up, turn it loose.
So I just gotta. Okay, I'm gonna have the people in the chat. Do y'all believe her? I mean, maybe am I being too hard? Do y'all listen? Because man, listen. I know we done talked about a lot of political stuff. Some people don't like that, but man, listen. This stuff was just funny to me tonight, and I'm just saying, you make the whole post. And them folks gonna put them receipts on you, Zoe. I'd rather for you to just say, go Nicki Minaj. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, Amber Rose. Just say it. Hey, I believe in what he's going. I'm a conservative. You know what? Do like the white folks do. I'm a conservative Christian. Hey, you look at people. I'm a conservative Christian, Zoe.
Man, look, worst thing she could have did, man, was first off doing, but secondly, man, just own your shit.
Just own it.
Own your shit, man. Just own it. Own it.
I'm just like, come on, man. You know, it's like, and so now what you've done is because you know, here's the thing about social media. One thing you like to match, the fire gonna fire.
I tell you what, Steve. All them scrubs they was thinking about for the bill, they for the bill her ass.
Coming out the woodworks. I already talked about her boyfriend, her white boyfriend. Is all MAGA. They put
all the scrubs about to bill her ass. I tell you that now.
Oh, listen, all the scrubs, bro. You talking about what? Come on, man. Chili. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know Chili say she mixed with everything else. You know, I know you ain't 100% black.
Look, she ain't chilling no more. She corn child. It's over for her, dog.
Bro, listen, you know what? I don't know if anybody y'all saw that the TLC movie. I think that was like on one of them channels, them lifestyle, Lifetime. They need to go find the girl that played Chili. Just go on to replace Chili right now. Just go on, get the girl, get her, and T-Ball, just do your thing. Or you could do, you know what? You could do like Chili can't be on the tour because of exhaustion. That's a good one right there, Zo. Exhaustion. You know what I'm saying? She will join us a little bit later, but I'm about to do this with these 3D animations. and we about to do these songs. Yeah. Oh, no, Kiki, wait, was Kiki Palmer? Oh, Kiki Palmer, thank you. See, thank you. Shout out, because Kiki Palmer, yeah. Hey, Kiki, listen. I'm done now. Listen, Kiki would be good. I think Kiki would be a hell of a stand in, Zo. Go and get Kiki in there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Left Eye. You know, you don't want to disrespect that, but I'm just saying, you know, you going to do the hologram like Dr. Dre and them did with Tupac. And you just, man, listen, I'll keep rocking. I'm gonna tell you right now. Salt and Pepper, they about their money. I'm telling you right now, that was the first person in the chat. Like, what we doing here? Hey, look at, see, she can tell it. Boy, listen. So I'm just trying to tell you, but man, we got to cut this out, man. We got to cut this foolishness out. Because when I saw that, and you know, I would never do that. And my thing is, this is my problem. So you made posts other than that. You don't go look at your post that you made. It's sitting on your feed. You don't look at your post and say, oh, better yet, which also tells you something. Your good friend didn't call you and say, hey, did you see what you posted? I'm telling you right now, it's a friend of mine, Dick 56. She sends me screenshots when I ain't looking good on the show, Zo. I can't go 5 minutes without her telling me something. She even text me now. Say, Zo can't talk because you got the style going on. So you gonna tell me that Chill ain't got a friend like that, Zo? She ain't got a good friend like that to look out for you.
Yeah, what you got?
Let me tell you something. When Scotty be going crazy, well, I'm gonna tell y'all something. When Scotty used to go crazy and he started looking at the phone, that was a text from me like, all right, time to cut that out. Immediately. Scotty will tell you. Scotty be going on and blah, 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 blah. That you just gotta do this though. And while you like when parents talking, right? Or maybe you talking, Scotty be doing this. All of a sudden, Scotty tell you, all right, well, we gotta wrap that up. We're not gonna be talking about the commissioner anymore. Perry, what you got going on this? We gotta cut it off. So that lets you know, hey, you ain't got no good friends. Let's start right there. Your circle ain't your circle. And that white boy you dating clearly ain't got your bed. Because I'm gonna tell you, even if I'm mad, I ain't gonna let my girlfriend mess up money up, though.
Yo.
I ain't gonna let you mess up money up. I'm gonna let you play that role. Listen, you need to tell them folks that you Obama Michelle now. We could do the Donald Trump thing behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's all I'm just saying. That's all I gotta say. So listen, we gonna close up. But one thing I did want to do, because you know, I saw some people talking about a few things that's going on. So we're going to show these SWAC standings real quick for softball and baseball before we get up out of it. I want people to know that we are sipping on Sundays. Me and Zoe Phillips, North Jackson's finest, off-script channel, Rocky Miller channel. And just to kind of, because some things are kind of happening. Baseball is getting crunk up. So I just wanted to show this, everybody, just to see that Prairie View is not going to win baseball. Just to let y'all know. So Bethune-Cookman, Texas Southern, surprisingly is sitting in second place. FAMU is always there. Jackson State, you know, kind of shocked that Jackson State where they're at right now. Southern baseball, Southern kind of been down a little bit in baseball. They should bounce back. But there's Prairie View. Just want to point that out because, you know, they swear they're going to win everything. And then, Zo, got to go over to softball real quick because I saw that too. And just wanted to pull that out there just to show that real quick. You know, just let folks know, just to keep them going. And this is a softball stance, because you know what? I saw something I was excited about in softball. Because, you know, Zoe, you know who played for the softball last year? It was these two teams right here in the East that played for the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Florida A&M and Jack State. So Prairie View, hey, listen, 11-1 in the West. Say they trying to rock with it, but I'm just letting y'all know. Softball stays in the East, just letting y'all know. See these two teams right here at the top, Florida A&M, Jack State, just letting y'all know. So Prairie View, said bass, you could do another brass monkey about that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, do me a quick favor right quick before we go.
What's that?
Who lead the Commissioner Cup series right now?
Okay, you know, let's see if we can find that. You know what? As somebody that cares not about the Commissioner Cup, because like I told you, I gave you the Campbell Cup, what was most important. Let's see, SWAC Commissioner Cup standings. Yeah,
this is about to be April. We ain't got but 2 more months. You know what I'm saying?
Alabama and Alabama State won it last year. Let's see here. I think this is it. I hope. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Sports. I Googled it. The SWAC championships. All right, let's try that again, because I thought I pulled up, but that's not it. Let's see here. Read more. Let's try that.
All right, just go to the website.
I did.
Oh,
yeah, I'm on it. And I just clicked it. Hold on, let's see here. You know, see them here. Because do a search, Commissioner's Cup, maybe? Nope.
You just go to excuse me. Go to the SWAC. I pull it up. Let me see.
Oh, there it is, right here in my face. My bad. No, but this is who won it. Yeah. Current. Okay, here we go. Current program. There we go. Yeah. You ain't got no leaderboard. Let me see if I can sort this.
They do. Hold on.
Oh no, is this at the bottom right here? The total points? Right here? Because it looks like, who is that? Alabama State again? Leading?
I don't know.
80. Oh no, who's Texas? No, Texas Southern's got 88. Is this the total points right here? Can you see that?
I can't see what you got.
Oh, my bad. I'm sitting up here. I ain't shared it yet. Here we go. Total points right here. You see that?
Go to the top.
And this is the teams right here. And they got it broken down by sport.
Oh no. Go Steve, go to the homepage.
Okay.
Click the SWAC logo.
Yep.
And then go to the bottom of the page.
All right. Okay, there we go. All right. So here we go. Commissioner's Cup standings. There you go. Make that nice and big. First place, Jack State Tigers. Shout out to y'all women to giving y'all more points than the men. Texas Southern number 2, Alabama State in 3rd. Prairie View is in 4th. Women giving them more points too. Why women giving everybody more points? Looks like Southern and tied for 5th with Alabama A&M. Bethune-Cookman 7th. FAMU down at 8th. Alcorn at 9th. Arkansas Pine Bluff 10th. Grambling down at 11th. And Mississippi Valley at 12th. So right now, with the spring sports going on, Zone, Jack State's at the top. What do you think about that?
That was supposed to happen, dog. You know, that was supposed to happen. We finished in 2nd place a lot of years when Alabama State was winning it, solely because we didn't have men and women's golf.
Well, see, this is the reason why. Okay, I'm glad you said that. See, you pick up points by playing more sports. So that's the reason why FAMU doesn't play all the sports. So probably never gonna win the Commissioner's Cup. That's why I
So-
said I got the Campbell Cup.
So that's why, you know, a lot of time Alabama State was winning and Jack State be in second place a lot of those years solely because, and we should have won it so many years, but we didn't because we didn't have men and women golf.
Well, you know, so like I say, so we're sitting there. G-Boom, shout out to G-Boom, part of that PV12. That's one of my guys. You know, hey, tell boy Said Bass come through, holler at your boy on Sundays. Holler at my boy. But everything. But yeah, you know, so that's what it is. You know, Commissioner's Cup, you know, again, congratulations, whoever might win it. Like I said, I'm not no big fan of the Commissioner's Cup because, again, the only problem is, or you should make every school play every sport. That's my thing. Because if you don't, it's always going to be skewed to the teams that got the most sports and that are successful in those sports. I do want to be clear in everything. So that's the thing about it. So, you know, we'll see. You know, Prairie View sitting up there. G Boone said they got 8 more sports, spring sports. You know, like I say, God knows. You know, say what is that? FAMU. Exactly. Thank you. Shout out to A. Will Thurley. She knows we ain't got none of those sports. We ain't winning. We ain't never win the cup. Because, like I said, the Campbell Cup. So let me just reiterate the Campbell Cup: men's football, men's basketball, men's baseball, women's softball, women's basketball, women's volleyball. That's the Campbell Cup. You get the most out of those 6, you the best in the SWAC to me. That's all I got to say on that. That's the big ones. Nothing against track and field, nothing against golf, nothing against bowling. We have bowling, you know what I'm saying? All that. Very important sports and stuff like that. But I'm just talking about when you go into a tournament, win those championships, those are the ones that yeah, see, let me tell you something about the track thing. See, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. I'm a big track guy, but all track teams, unfortunately, are not funded very well in the SWAC. And you got people, and even the Grambling coach, like in the long distance, he's like, I never coached long distance. You know, so it's, to me, it's not fair when that's just not on equal playing field. Football, basketball, all those, you can only have a certain amount of people. You can only play a certain group of people. The track and field thing is kind of iffy. So you're going to have great track teams and things like that because money that's allocated. And some schools just don't have money allocated to track and field. You know, they might do it, but they don't have it. So I don't disrespect it. I love it when I see when we win and things like that. Because we have some outstanding, let me say, the individual track performers and some great track teams. But overall, unfortunately, a lot of the track and field does not get the funding that they need to be competitive. So that's the reason why I say that. That's my thing right there. So, hey, man, listen. We did another great night, man. Listen, we talked about football. We talked about politics. We talked about ChatGPT. We talked about ChatGPT here, so can you believe that? We talked about Jason Whitlock. Cam Newton, should he be like Michael Jordan? Talked about a lot of good things, man. So, you know, really good show, man. Really excited. Appreciate you all. So let me ask you one quick question. When is your wedding again?
August 1st.
So listen. So as we get a little bit closer, we're gonna have some guest hosts. Because Zoe, that boy be working. His fiance got him right, man. And we're gonna have that little gift basket that we're gonna have to give Zoe and his wife. So y'all, you know, put your pennies to the side. Because we gotta make sure we gotta do a sipping on Sunday. We gotta buy him a bottle or something, or money he can buy a bottle and everything. Because we know it's kind of expensive, ain't it, Zoe? So tell the people real quick, what's the minimum buy? Anything when you do a wedding? What's the minimum?
Man, you say anything, it's a rack. It's $1,000. I don't care what you say. You say $1,000.
$1,000.
Everything.
How much invitations though?
Man, $1,000. I don't care what it is. You say anything, $1,000.
Cake from Kroger that the girl gonna put some extra toppings on it. How much is it?
Man, $1,000.
$1,000.
Man, everything, bro.
It adds up, man. But listen, you're doing it for the love of your life. We're super excited for you, man. We're super happy for you, man. I'm not getting married. I'm just gonna keep me a little friend around, you know. So I'm gonna be one of them old men. You know how you see the old man and they be like, here come Mr. Steve, Miss Mary's friend. I'm gonna be Mr. Steve for somebody. You know, when she need a car jumped or need something put up, you know what I mean? So that's gonna be me. That's gonna be me. So I'm gonna be Mr. Steve to somebody, you know, one of them old fine old ones, you know what I'm saying? The old fine AKA. You know what I'm saying? They take care of themselves.
I was on my way to being Mrs. O too, so.
Hey, wait a minute. So, Evan, let me tell you something real quick. I don't believe in being a sugar dad. I think that, and yeah, many of y'all have talked about my strip club experience. I told you I don't go to strip clubs because I got a simple rule. I don't give no woman no money that I can't cut her lights off. I'm gonna let y'all think about that for a second. So I don't sugar daddy nobody. I can't do it. There's too many beautiful black women my age. I mean, gorgeous black women, single, looking for a brother like me.
I would always say that I could never be a sugar daddy. Black people have the highest rates of diabetes, so nobody needs to be a sugar daddy.
Man, listen. Hey, let me tell you what's funny. Now, this last thing. My phone has one of those AI things, right? And it must have heard something I said. And you know what it said? Stay authentic to yourself. Believe in yourself. Be positive. See, they even know, even the AI know I can't be no sugar daddy. So even the AI know it. Just went off.
Hey,
man, listen. There you go. So listen, man. Hey, man, it's another great edition. Sipping on Sundays. Oh, on a Sunday. My man, Zoe Phillips, Mr. Campbell. Appreciate you all, John. Man, we will be back next Sunday. Oh, you know what? Real quick, though. Just real quick. Got to say it. Michigan in the Final Four. Arizona in the Final Four. Connecticut in the Final Four. Illinois. So by the time me and Zoe come back on, we will be talking about the Final Four and the national championship game. Man, again, super excited about it, man. Basketball season about to end up. Oh, also, too, man, shout out to those South Carolina State girls. And shout out to all the black coaches. You know what I'm saying? Noel Ivy tried to get it done against Connecticut. It was tough. Carol Lawson, coach at Duke, tried to get it done, couldn't get it done. But you know my girl Dawn is still rocking and rolling. So we got to watch them South Carolina Gamecocks. You know, they honorary HBCU just because of Dawn, because she loved HBCUs and take good care of them. So that's what it is, man. See, listen. She said you need to be married, Mr. Camp. Hey, listen. If anybody want to send a resume to your boy and let me know what you offer, because you got to offer me something, because I'm trying to tell you, riding in that lack single is a good thing now. Now, if you got a little something on the resume, got 401k, and I ain't talking about, I want that to be your door knocker, you know what I'm saying? Your address, 401k. I need that to be your actual 401k. Need to have a little something. And also, too, you can't be having no young kids, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't deal with no young girls. So if you got no young kids, can't do that for you. Can't do that. I need you to have grown kids in college, or preferably no kids. So when I got to come over there and jump your car, and I can't go all the way home, so I can just stay over. You know what I'm saying? Just stay over. That's me. That's it. Oh, not LinkedIn. She said LinkedIn, Dave. There it is. But hey, man, this is what it is, man. Sipping on Sundays. Me and Zoe Phillips, and man, just let us know what you're sipping on. We'll talk to you later.